Hey guys, welcome to episode 276 of 4Player Animecast. It is the middle of July, everybody that dares to tread outside is just immediately bursting into flames. We have floods going on everywhere. I saw a picture of Shibuya, just like the tunnel in Shibuya just getting completely just screwed by, flood waters. And we are here starting the reviews for our summer 2025 anime season. This will be, again, the first episode, so we will only have, I think most series only have one episode, maybe two. So this will be, again, more of a first impressions than it will be a full review. But, anyways, I am your host, Aspire, and with me are my compatriots, Near,
So,
Toast,
What?
and Dark.
Hello.
All right. So we're gonna go through, what we've been doing in the past couple of weeks. I know we didn't do, what like our past 2 weeks during our previous shows. So we're gonna do, past couple of weeks what we've been up to very quickly, starting off with Near.
it's been a while, huh?
Yeah.
Um,
It's usually like that after our previous shows.
Well, I watched Thunderbolts. Um, theaters.
Nice. Did you like
That was
it?
a while ago. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I'd say it's like personally, it's probably like top 4 MCU movies for me. So,
What? What are the other ones?
Really?
um, so for me, it's like number 1 is Guardians 3. Number 2 is
Okay.
Guardians 2. Number 3 is Spider-Man No Way Home. And then now number 4 is
Oh
like
yeah, No Way Home was really good.
Thunderbolts.
Fuck,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I'm pretty hyped for Superman's coming out. Or wait, Superman came out. It came out like today or yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch that. Ben Shapiro hates it, which means it's probably pretty good. And then Fantastic Four is soon. I'm excited for that as well. Other than that, the new
But here,
Shadowverse came out.
There's
There's
a
too much
female
family
Silver
stuff in it.
Surfer.
Yeah,
There's
it's woke.
there's too much
It's woke,
female stuff in
unfortunately.
Fantastic
Yeah,
Four. I
it's woke,
think. Like I don't really
unfortunately.
know what's going on.
But yeah, the new Shadowverse came out, so I've been playing that. It's a game. It's a
Near,
game
what's
that-
Abysscraft? I've never heard of Abysscraft.
Abysscraft is Shadowcraft.
Why?
Because I think in the physical card game that they released, like the physical trading card game, they sort of merged Shadowcraft and Bloodcraft into Abysscraft.
I was wondering what was missing. I was like, wait a minute. Something feels missing.
But as far as I'm aware, Abysscraft doesn't have Vengeance. So it doesn't really have any of the traits of Bloodcraft.
Wait,
but it
so
has-
is Shadowverse 2? Does it have all the old cards from Shadowverse 1?
No.
Is my question.
No.
Okay.
It's a new card set. It's right now there's only the one card set. There's a new one coming.
Oh, so they
in, like, a
completely they're
week?
starting from scratch.
Sort of, yeah. It's kind of like I mean, they're right now they're kind of trying to be like, oh, it's like board focus, lol. But it's Shadowverse, right? So it's not going to be for very long, obviously. And fucking
Yeah.
spell
It's gonna
boost
turn into Dragon
exists,
Ball very
so
soon. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But yeah, right now it's pretty fun. Unfortunately, the way the game is kind of like paced in terms of how you get your rewards and how they've monetized it, it's pretty grim, pretty bleak. So
Oh yeah, I heard there was a huge scandal over the monetization thing.
yes.
Yes.
So if you remember back in Shadowverse 1, opening a pack costed 100 rupees or gold,
Yes, sir.
right? And now it's 500. For really no reason at all. And also, if you remember, you used to be able to just dust any cards you wanted, right?
Oh yeah, I heard
you
about
could
this
just
one
vial
too.
anything.
Yeah.
And now in Shadowverse 2, you can only vial cards if you have at least 3 of. So you can only vial extras. So if you have 3 of a card, you can't vial it. But if you have 4 of, you can vial it. Which basically means if you have a useless card, or like a useless legendary even, you can't dust it. It just has to sit in your inventory until you have at least 4 of them, which is really bad because it makes crafting decks fucking impossible, basically.
You know, in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you need at least what is it, 30 or you need 30 dust of a specific rarity in order to craft any one card of that rarity. Let's say like an ultra rare. You need 30 UR dust to craft an ultra rare, but you get 10 dust from dismantling one. So you need 3 UR to craft one UR. So
Yeah,
maybe you should play Yu-Gi-Oh instead.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
We just got Mal support near. Don't you love Alice in Wonderland?
Wow.
It's
But
meta.
yeah, the
He
monetization
doesn't
is
like
not very
reading.
good.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I also don't like losing on turn 1, so it's not really my kind of game. But yeah, monetization is not great. The game itself, it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. I mean, it's Shadowverse, right? So at the end of the day,
So
it's
it's
gonna be like
Kanashi.
Shadowbot is Tanoshi. But like at the end of the day, it's always gonna be like at least 2 decks are dominating the meta at really any given point. It's kind of like that right now, but kind of sort of not really. It's weird. There are 2 decks that are like really strong, and then there are 2 decks that are like just really annoying to fight, and they're all kind of vying for
Supremacy.
supremacy. Yeah, but yeah, the game itself is really fun. I like it, but
Yeah, that's good at least.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I started playing. Oh yeah, Musume came out.
Yes, sir.
That's the thing that
The
happened.
talk of the town.
Yeah. I downloaded Musume. I re-rolled for a few hours.
Mhm.
And then after I was in re-rolling, I got a good roll. I was like, all right, I'll try the game out. And then I tried the game out, and then I was like, this isn't very fun. And then,
Yeah, a lot of it just kind
and
of
then
seems watching and
I
not doing.
uninstalled.
It's like an
Yeah.
idle simulator. It's like
I'm
a one
not.
step up bar.
Yeah, I'm not super into like the like sim, I guess, games you'd call it, the
Or like
trainer games
just kind
where
of
it's kind of
putting
just
in there
like,
and just watching. Yeah,
yeah, you kind of just like you kind of click the thing, you watch the number go up, and then the characters kind of have a chat. It's not really my tempo, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it, so
Near, I get it. Tempo
yeah, yeah,
decks.
sure, yeah.
Didn't you like Tempo, or was that Spire? One of you did.
I mean, tempo is just a term of like keeping like board presence basically, but yeah. But yeah, Umume is not really my cup of tea. I did download Persona 5 Phantom X, and I've been playing that a little bit. That's quite fun. Quite a good little gotcha there. It's a bit jank, but it's fun. But yeah, other than that, gotcha gaming pretty much constantly. It's pretty much been my, what is it now, 4 to 5 weeks. So yeah.
Okay. Pretty good. All right. Thank you very much, Near. I guess I'll go next real quickly. Again, pretty slow real life stuff, and then kind of um still getting used to my move here. But other than that, I started playing a little bit of Path of Exile again, Path of Exile 2 again recently. But it's like the current meta is just like one of the builds that I like where I just get to press buttons and then everything gets zapped on the screen. Everything on the screen gets zapped. So
Classic.
yeah, I've been having fun running around like that because it's still like one of the annoying things. Again, it's like um, and this sounds like terrible when I actually say it out loud, but it's like because a lot of like the screens are like dark and like kind of wonky in like Path of Exile too. It's like there are times where it's like there are still little impy like opponents on the stage somewhere, like in the corner or whatever, and I have to catch them. Um, but it's like hard to click on them because they're like scurrying around, and it's not like they're hard like I have to kill them before they kill me or anything like that. It's not like they're any danger, but it's still like annoying to kill them. So that's part of why I like having builds in that game where I just like, ah, fuck it, I'll just click somewhere on the ground and I'll kill them.
This
Kind
is
of stuff.
why you use controller.
Yeah. Um, but I've been having a little bit of fun running around with that build. Obviously, Path of Exile 2 is still a lot of running around empty maps and running back on empty maps and stuff like that. I still think they should have way more checkpoints because, like, at the point where you've activated the checkpoints and killed everything, like they can nerf like how much health you get back or whatever.
I
But
mean,
I
I
still
feel like
think you should.
they can either do checkpoints or they could straight up just copy fucking Diablo 4 and just
Yeah.
let you mount up in any map.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure later on the game gives you like has a mount at some point, like
Oh.
in parts
Also,
of
you
it.
can make portals to go back pretty much at any point in the map, right? Obviously other than boss fights. So it's like it's essentially the same as a checkpoint. So I don't know why they just don't have checkpoints everywhere at that point, you know what I mean? Because it's like if you wanted to, you would literally just be like, okay, I'll like if I want to heal, right? Even if I didn't have checkpoints, it would be like I'd kill one mob and then a portal back, and then kill another mob and then portal back. So it's like essentially the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, having a little bit of fun with that. Um, what is it? Not playing Uma Musume. I'm planning on getting into it in and trying to re-roll but I know that there's one
Look at
horse
this guy.
girl
He's
that's
gonna miss the Kita-san Black banner, and he's gonna be
Do they
behind for
have
4 years.
Listen, man.
no Hito-san
None
Black
of
Banner is
these
coming out in 4 days.
flipping
That's literally what I'm waiting for. that's that's literally what I'm
Just
waiting
look at this
for.
guy. He's gonna miss out on Fine Motion and Super Creek support cards.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, they're still gonna be available because of how the pool is, right? It's just that they're not gonna be. But I'm gonna be like re-rolling. I'm gonna have like what is it like 2 weeks or something like that to re-roll something properly. So I'm gonna be waiting because the next card that's like, coming up in a couple of days is like the meta essentially. And I know when the Korean community got the Korean version of Umumusme, like all the veterans there were fucking crying about Kita-san Black. So I'm just kind of waiting for that. I don't know whether I'm actually gonna will. It's like the issue is it's I don't know.
You only need
Like
3 copies, Spire. That's it, because you can get more limit
well,
breaks from the anniversary and
yeah,
other
I
like.
wasn't necessarily talking about the mechanics, but what I was thinking was like in terms of like me being attracted to a gotcha game, it's been a while since I've been attracted to a gotcha game. And it's not because, like, oh, Uma Musume has bad design or whatever. It's just like for some reason it doesn't really attract me that much, although it is very adjacent. It
I
is
mean,
essentially
really,
like they revamped
I think
Idolmaster,
one of
right?
the
But it's
problems
still.
for me for the game is just like how stingy it is, like with that shit. It's just like
Yeah.
or rather, it's not so much that it's stingy. It's just like there's so much shit you like, quote unquote, need for like limit breaks and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm just gonna run a career every now and then.
And also, I want to say, I feel like, how do I say this? Like, with idol stuff, 2D idol stuff, as much as I sound like an otaku, right? A nerdly nerd. There's a lot of stuff in like these games to kind of appreciate in a sense, right? Even something like Prikone or Kirafan, right? There were like small, like little things to appreciate, like in the game with the characters, with the cards, skills, whatever, stuff like that. But I feel like in how do I say this? In the Horse Girl game, in Uma Musume, there's not as much stuff to appreciate looking at, if that makes sense. Like there's like even the performance is kind of whatever compared to or like the song and dance stuff is kind of whatever compared to 2D Idols games. And then I kind of wish they had like this is like a little thing, but it does matter to me at least. They had something like, like custom running animations or whatever, right? That are
Yeah.
maybe that could also differ based on, outfits or they had more like different unique skill animations or something like that, right? I wish there was just like something more to look at. And I feel like a lot of I might get flack for this, but I feel like a lot of the that sort of value comes from not the official Musume material, but I feel like most of that sort of value and like the community enjoying it and stuff like that, enjoying the characters comes actually from the community itself and not necessarily from the official material, if that makes sense. So,
Well, I
I
feel like
think
it can
it's
come from the official
also
material. It's just really not the game so much.
there's
Like,
also the
not
yeah,
really.
issue
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of extra stuff that's outside of it. They keep making.
there's also the fact that I think a lot of the horses, like the girls, sort of very different and sort of unique personalities have kind of
Mhm.
manifested in stuff like the anime, um,
Yeah.
right, which has come out obviously outside of season one. Most of this has been expanded upon outside, like after the game has released, right? And
Mhm.
so I think um there's something lost, I guess, in the game where it's like everyone's kind of doing the same running animation and everyone's kind of doing, you know, similar stuff outside of like, there's sort of like limit break animation or whatever.
Yeah, the unique
Where it's
skill stuff
like,
like that.
you would kind of hope for something a bit more unique, but it's kind of just like not really there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Oguri, for example, like Oguri's a completely different character in
Yeah.
Sin Gray than the game. Like, I
Yeah.
think literally the only
Cinderella Grey's
crossover
a
really is
prequel
just
though,
that
isn't it?
she's hungry.
Yep.
Yes,
Um,
Sin Gray is like technically a sequel, but I mean just in general, like
No, I
like
mean it's a
characterization
prequel because it takes place earlier
or
than I
prequel
guess.
rather, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes place earlier than Pretty Derby.
mhm.
But either way, it's like the only similarity really in the game is that she eats a lot and that's it. Like personality wise it's very different.
Yeah. But yeah, I might try. I'm planning on trying it out again when the meta character comes in, and then I'll try to re-roll for X hours, X days, whatever. It'll be fine. I hope I don't die. The whole lot. I'll do that, and then other than that, I've been pretty much chilling. Again, trying not
Oh
to go
yeah.
outside too much. But
What horse are you waiting for, Spire? Kid the Sun Black's not is a support card. It's not a horse.
what do you mean?
I mean, the
Everyone,
actual, like, individual, like, the actual units, like the horse units, don't matter anywhere near as much as the supports.
yeah,
So,
the Kita Sun Black banner is about the actual Kita Sun Black support card. The banner that comes the banner that comes with it is the anime collab banner, which is Tokai Teo and Major McQueen's new anime outfits. So
Oh,
that's
like
fire.
the actual, I'm not, I mean, the actual main like characters, like the horse, I'm, I haven't really decided yet, but I'm probably gonna be fine with just
Who's
pulling
your
like
favorite, Spire? Who's your favorite?
my favorite in the ones that are currently on right now.
Sure.
Um, I don't really, that's the thing. Again, it's like I don't really have a there are some ones that haven't been released right now that I might
Okay, fine.
like,
I'll give you that. Which one?
but it's I like Gentle Donut and Orfever.
Oh,
Out of
you
the
like
two that
oh
have been,
favorite? Okay, sure.
yeah. And then the two that I'm probably trying to get uh out of the ones that are out right now are probably Ogre Cap and Grass Wonder,
You
in
can
my
get
opinion.
Ogre
But
Well,
we'll
Caps
you
see.
for
can just
free.
you can just
Yeah,
choose
Ogre
her.
Caps free. Grass
Oh
Wonder,
yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
Grass Wonder is a 2-star. You can get it easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but
How about you? How about you, Near and Dark? Which ones are you looking forward to? You might as well do this.
Mine is not ever coming out probably. So,
Which one?
fucking Dicta Striker, like she's not gonna be my
Uh,
shit. I like Shakir, but she's also like a 1-star and whatever. I don't even think she's out yet either.
Oh, Addicted
Yeah.
Striker's the
Striker's
yellow one.
never been released. Yeah, Striker's the one that wears the hood.
If
The
she's
one
in the
that
anime,
it's
isn't
like
she?
Sin
She'll get in
well,
there.
she's in Sin Gray, and I think she was in
Yeah, she can get in
like a
there.
background in Pretty Derby. Yeah, I mean she can, but she's not even in there in the global or not global in the JV
Yeah.
release. So that shit's not coming anytime soon. I did pick Oguri though, so like I have an account, but like I said, I just like casually fuck around with it.
What about you, Nier?
I'm a Tachyon head, so
Is it because she has weird eyes? What's wrong with her eyes? Is she blind?
she's just cool like that, bro.
You can't guess who I'm looking forward to. You'll never guess.
Yeah, gold ship swimsuit.
Which one?
No. What? No. I've already mentioned who it was like a long time ago, and I was like, oh hey, this one Umamama Sumi's pretty cool. Way back in
Pandora
2018.
Toss.
No. She was in the POV, but she'll never be released ever.
Who is it?
Deep Impact. The cool one. Everyone loves Deep Impact. But there's a lot of copyright problems with Deep Impact, so whatever.
Yeah.
But she's the cool one.
But
But if not her, then what is it? Symboli Chris S, I guess, is my far away second.
yeah. This reminds me of the illustration for Deep Impact reminds me of why do I keep forgetting the Dragon Girl in
Forte.
yes, Forte,
Oh
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of
Gee, I
that.
wonder
for
why.
sure.
Also,
Close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because that's why Toast is like attracted to it, I think. Part of it. But
her moniker is the hero. That's why she's dressed like that. So, no, not the one I posted. This one's the green one, Symbolic Chris S. But yeah, Deep Impact, the blue one. Yeah, she's cool.
yeah.
The most powerful horse ever in the 2000s. Give me her. Also, yeah, that one. There's also King Kamiyamama, but she was also in the 2018 POV. But she'll never come. She'll never come out for the same reasons as Deep Impact.
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably gonna end up talking about Uma Musume a little bit more in future episodes, but that's pretty much all I had for now. Other than that, not too much from me. What about you, Toast?
Let's keep talking about horses. You know who's cool? That's currently out in global.
Yeah.
You know who my favorite is in global already. It's obvious.
You
what's her
have
name?
Daiwa
Twin Tail one?
Daiwa Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's Taiwa Scarlet.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
knew you
long
like the
running one.
Tsundere one.
Of
The
course,
Tsundere-ish one.
with red
Yeah.
hair and twin tails. Hell yeah! I mean,
Another,
I'm curious. Wait, do you like Shauna, Toast? I just
no,
really curious.
Shakugana Shana, no,
What? You just
Yikes.
broke the
No.
streak.
no,
You just
I
broke
didn't.
the
Shakugana Shana is a petite character near or spire. I'm sorry, I'm not a
you don't
lolicon.
like lollies? Oh, okay. I guess that's fine then.
I like ones with ample. Yeah,
Ample bosoms.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like what? Bremerton's up there. Honolulu's up there.
Mm,
Yeah, that chick from Rakudai Kishi's up there on the list.
okay.
It's pretty obvious, Spire.
Okay. And other than Uma
Okay,
Musume,
so
what did you
yeah,
get up to?
Umumusame.
Oh yeah, what
Wait, just Uma
about the
Musume?
concert?
What concert?
Okay,
What was there a concert? The Gamers concert?
talking about.
What concert are you
Wasn't
talking
the
about?
auto concert?
Oh, mine's
Now, like,
mine's not up
No,
until the
no,
31st.
that's
Yeah.
the end of July. That's the
Oh,
end of July. Yeah, for the
okay. I
Chicago
thought
one.
that was one of the early ones.
Speaking of early ones, Spire, you coming in one day early to get one day early merch? They're apparently doing that for
No,
all venues except Baltimore. I don't know what's wrong with Baltimore.
I know,
Fuck you,
I know that.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
I get that meme.
yeah, I know they're doing like the separate booths, and like you have to choose either between the booth or the concert if you're arriving on the concert day. But it's I'm probably not.
What do you mean booth?
Or
I
not
mean,
the merch stuff.
I mean, we have assigned seats, so it doesn't really matter. Like when you get into the venue, it's just like you have to line up. It's a separate line this time.
Yeah, but if you're waiting in line to get the merch, you're gonna spend way too long, and you're essentially like gonna miss a lot of the concert, right? So that's the problem. If
I
you're gonna do it on the day of.
no, no, because they'll be selling it inside as well. I mean, I guess they're gonna be late. Gonna be that
Yeah,
late.
but there are also gonna be lines for that merch. That's the thing, right?
I guess.
Yeah, it
Last
kind of
time when
depends
we
on whether or not they cap the amount of people they let in for merch, you know? Because if it's like, oh
there's
yeah, you could
the
do
things are
merch,
gonna
but
be outside early from like what is it 10 to 6, and then they'll start letting people into the concert venue, and then like you can still buy stuff inside before the concert and after. So I don't know. I don't know, Spire. What are you trying to get?
I haven't decided yet, to be honest. I've still like been very busy with like scheduling stuff properly in real life. So other than scheduling the flight out, I haven't really seen it.
I posted the prices of merch already. You want me to pull it up again?
No, I saw it, but
the
I just
eighty
need
dollar
Oh, yeah,
light
then
to
you.
stick.
kind of skim through it later.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dual wielding. Hell yeah!
That's so gross,
I
bro.
know it is.
Dude, the
That's I'm getting
$160
at
light
least.
stick.
I'm gonna be getting at least once, but I don't know about dual wielding.
Mm.
Maybe
That shit's
I don't have a.
crazy.
I
I
know it
wouldn't be
is.
doing that. I wouldn't be doing that if I were you, but
My ass would just be buying the plush and being done with it, bro. $40
Yeah, if you
or
want
whatever.
if you want the plush, you definitely have to go the one day early route and be there early. Yeah, that sells out like the fastest.
Yeah.
And then the light stick apparently.
I feel like the plush is the only like reasonably priced thing there, to be honest. Which is kind
What
of
about?
funny.
I mean, the shirt is the same as last year. Thank God.
Yeah, but concert shirts are always fucking crazy overpriced. So
Yeah. Honestly, the other plushes is usually 25, but you know why it's 40. Yikes. Anyway, yeah, 31st. I won't be on the podcast that day. What else? Yeah,
What
Dallas
else did you
Scarlet's
do?
cool. She's
Yeah,
cool.
that was good. Pretty good.
Vodka? Who cares about vodka? I know Wooly likes vodka,
Vinny
and
does.
Vinny has a figure of vodka.
Did you hear it?
Good for him.
Did you hear him scream when he got her?
Yeah, that was
It was
good
quite
job,
good.
Vinny. But did you hear Near? He doesn't like vodka anymore. Now he likes Daiwa Scarlet because he saw
Wow. Converted.
he saw the image. You know the one, right? The comparison image,
Oh,
like the Chad versus the Virgin one.
yeah.
But yeah, he saw that. He was like, "All right, I guess I like Daiwa Scarlet." And I'm like, "Good for you, Vinny." What else? Yeah.
No, not too much then.
Fuck you, birds. What else?
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I tried going to Kurasushi to like, what is it? You know, Kurasushi had a Hololive collab
Yeah.
Didn't they have a
starting at
couple of Hololive collabs? Yeah.
no, not from
What?
no. This is the first, I believe, EN one. I don't off the top of my head. I don't remember if there's any JP ones. But yeah, on July
Okay.
1st, they
Mhm.
started selling the cups. I went July 2nd. Cups were sold out. Apparently, they only had like 25 to 50 cups per
Don't
area
you
or
have to
first
buy
floor.
like for the
No,
EN stuff plus the Kurosushi in the USA? Don't you have to buy like $70-$100 worth of
that's
sushi just
for
to get like the merch properly?
the cool pillow or the cooling towel.
Towel? Yeah.
For the cup, you can just walk in and buy it. It's $20, maximum
Mhm.
of three, and it's sold out immediately on the first day. So I'm like,
Of
damn,
course.
I should have gone at 8 a.m. for sushi just to get my cup. Idiots! They should have bought more. Now I have to. Now I don't know when I can get my cool cup. I want that
Yeah,
cup.
I mean
I
that
mean,
was gonna run out pretty quickly. I think just knowing the fan
the
base.
sushi's pretty questionable in question. Like, you guys see crony sushi? Yuck! It's got avocado and cream
Yeah.
cheese on it.
No, I mean the thing is
The hell,
the thing is
bro?
they're
That's
all like standard.
standard.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. Thing is, it's like these days, I mean,
It's
most
ew,
of it.
gross. You guys know I don't like avocado. It's let's see.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying is, it's like
Ina's is a
one of
spicy
the.
crunchy squid. Gigi's
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
salmon and tamago spicy roll. That's probably the best one. And then Cronies
yeah,
is tuna with avocado cream cheese. I'm okay with
yeah,
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
tuna and cream cheese. I don't like avocado.
Yeah. Unfortunately, X with avocado and cream cheese stuff like that is relatively common as like one of those like extra like like especially with like salmon. Adding it to like salmon and then doing like nigiri style is relatively common in these like revolving sushi places. So it is what it is.
Westernized,
Um,
my dude.
yeah, I mean,
Do the
you can say
Japanese
that.
even grow avocado?
Yeah, I don't really like them that much either. At most, I don't really like them that much. Maybe I like sometimes the maybe spicy mayo with like a little bit of pork roast stuff like that.
What's your
But
favorite sushi? I'm fond of scallop right now.
I mean, it's sushi. I mean, it would
Scallop
pretty
and
much have
tuna,
to be
hell yeah.
flat. Yeah, it's if you're not really going for proper like otoro maguro, like home maguro kind of stuff, are you? That's pretty much it. Like all the other stuff is kind of fluff. So this may sound elitist, but it is pretty much 100% true for all of you guys. That's like a sushi. I don't know whether it's like a hack or not. If you're going to a sushi place, the only real thing that you should be eating as much as possible within price restrictions, maybe two things that you should be eating.
Amago.
One,
You know how much egg prices are? You gotta get your
that's true.
money's worth.
Yeah, eggs prices. That's true. In fact, the rice prices, bro, in Japan, it's gonna be it's gonna be wild once they start, really running out. So you're not even gonna get nigiri sushi anymore. But yeah. So the two things that you should mainly be aiming for: one, uni, right? Sea urchin eggs. Two, or sea urchin or whatever. And two, maguro, whole maguro. If you're not eating one of these two as your core, you're not really like everything else is fluff. Everything else is fluff, pretty much. So
Does
but
does
yeah,
uh does sea urchin and avocado go well together?
I wouldn't say so unless you really like eating stuff without teeth. Unless you really like gumming on stuff. Like I'm a fan of like chewy, like slimy kind of stuff, and even I wouldn't recommend uni plus avocado. Like that's like for people with that's like for 70-year-old grannies with no teeth, I think. So yeah. But okay. You had your sushi stuff, I guess.
I
Anything
didn't
else?
know I didn't. I didn't go. I looked and I was like, say so long. I was like, damn, never mind.
Oh yeah. It did sell out. I see you just didn't go at all. That's unfortunate.
I mean, I
Aren't
looked
there
in the
were there no
store.
like stickers or anything like that? Because I
Yeah,
know usually in Japan.
the
Yeah.
stickers on the front said sold out. And I'm like, all right, never mind. I didn't walk in.
Oh fuck. The stickers were sold out too? That's crazy
No, I
actually.
mean, there's the sticker outside says we're sold out of the
No,
cup.
I was wondering if there were any
No
like
stickers.
because
No.
sometimes like Kura sushis for collaborations they sell stuff like if you eat like a dish, right, or if you order a specific dish, they give you like a sticker or like some sort of like thing
I don't think
at the
so.
bottom
No,
of the
no
dish.
new
Yeah.
Bikuropon. It's only the
No,
cup
that sucks.
and the towel and the hat if you pre-ordered. No.
That sucks. They should have printed out some
Maybe
of
I'll
those.
walk into the store, I guess, and take pictures. I don't know.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
What else? I guess since Uma Musume is so popular, what's the best way someone has tried to say Uma Musume that you guys heard? Right now, I'm fond of Umi Mamasumi.
I
I've only
That's
heard the
that
one
has
dude.
to be a
crazy.
template. That
Only
has to be
heard
fucking fake.
I've only heard NL say what was it Uma Masumi?
Yeah, Uma Musume.
Yeah, Uma Musume.
Yeah.
I think it's what's that guy's name? The near Vinny's bald friend. Mike. Yeah, I think I've heard Mike say Umi Mamasumi. Otherwise, I completely made it up. I don't know.
Awesome.
Oh my god. Just yeah.
The
Too
Caucasian
many.
brain when it
Yeah.
sees vowels, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
syllables that have to be pronounced at the front instead of in the middle.
I mean, at least a lot of them have either tried to say Makitani Fukukitaru or not at all. They're like, I don't even know
Yeah,
how to say that name, and it's like, yeah,
yeah,
me too. Until you heard it like a dozen times in a race, then you know what it says.
yeah. The good thing is, at least a lot of the horses have like English words as part of their like names or like components or parts of it. So it's like,
Yeah, like Makitani Fukukitaru or her
yeah.
relative Makitani Tannhauser. Those are English words.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. Master Duel got Malice. Malice is the newest meta. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, then thank you very much, Toast. And last but definitely not least, what about you, Dark?
Yeah, I've been.
Wait, Doug, yeah, you haven't said who your favorite horse is.
I literally did. I said
Yeah.
my favorite of the
I
original is
like Deer.
Shakir. My other one is Striker.
Oh, and your near said Takion. Which one
Now,
of you?
granted, I do like Jungle Pocket, but you know, bit of a recency bias for me.
Okay. So, Dark, 2 weeks,
But
please.
yeah, I rolled an Musume. I got Ogiri. I got Twin Turbo support card, though I don't think either of those two things work together properly.
Twin Turbo's good though.
Yeah, but I don't think she's good for Ogiri, if I'm not mistaken. Unless she is, oh. I have a lot of cards
I
that are
mean,
not
it's
because
a speed card. Speed cards are always good for now.
yeah. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, no, that's good. But the problem with Ogre is I keep getting like skills and shit that have nothing to do with late closing at all. Um, which sucks.
Just turn her into a pace chaser or a front. It's so easy.
That yeah. But yeah, so been dealing with that. I haven't really been playing too much of that. I'm kind of taking that really slow,
Mhm.
just because I don't want to. That's not really a game I'm really focusing on. I did get really into P5X. That game's very fun. I really was like down on the idea of playing more P5, but it's kind of like P5 but with certain aspects of combat that are more fun at times. So, there's been a lot of fun stuff there. The story is pretty fun, The Subway Slammer, pretty cool guy. Just beat him.
It's kind of goaded.
Well, gave him a little change of heart. I will say what's kind of interesting is that they made the Subway Slammer, and I doubt this was like super intentional, but since like P5X is doing some weird like I think alternate reality or alternate dimension shit with P5, they made the Subway
Oh wait, it's not
Slammer.
even in the same universe, is it? Or what is it?
No, nope.
No.
They are the original Phantom Thieves in the universe that they're in, but they get glimpses of the other ones, which is what's like
What?
weird. Yeah,
Yes,
like for
it's
example, like the Subway
very bizarre.
Slammer. The Subway Slammer is the keeper of lust. Like he is the lust fucking like trophy that you're going after. Which I think was interesting that they made the Subway Slammer like the lust guy and did like a weird like psychosexual explanation of like why this guy runs into women in the subway. And like I don't know if it was
What?
intentional to get that deep with it, but like I thought that was kind of interesting, whether or not it was. But yeah, that was fun. There's new tracks for all the bosses, I think, which is pretty sick. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of this is like a really like big like you can kind of tell that the people who made it did very much enjoy like P5 and everything about P5 because there's even a thing where they force you to watch scenes from P5 like the animated scenes and from like P5 the animation. And it's just like, yeah, you're gonna watch this whole fucking scene, and then you'll get your role.
Okay.
Yeah, then you'll
Okay.
get your fucking single pull, okay? So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, overall the combat's fun. The characters are really fun. The designs are really cool. There's some really, really good designs in that. But yeah, other than that, you know, mauling at Marvel Rivals, new season just came out, so I've been doing that. And been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. You know, been playing Monk again in World of Warcraft and in classic World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria, because they just released that.
Nice,
and that was when I first really dug into it, and Monk is very, very cool. They are the Kung Fu Pandas. So you technically don't have to be a panda, but you know, they got the best animations. They're always drinking brews and shit. So it just makes sense. Yeah, other than that, you know, been keeping up with stuff. I will say I will briefly run through really quick what I watched over the course of the past few days.
I know you've been really enjoying a certain another
Yeah,
horse related piece of news.
So obviously, like, I've been going through all of Musume. Well, no, recently, like, obviously, it's like I went through Sin Gray, and I'm still working through season 3 of Pretty Derby. But
yeah,
I completely forgot that they released Musume Beginning of a New Era. I don't know why I didn't watch it when it came out last year, but I didn't. Probably just, you know, went under my radar whenever the hell it got posted to like streaming and shit. But yeah, so I went through this, and I just wanted to briefly run through this because this is a fucking absolute 10 out of 10 movie. I was talking to Near about this, like, the directing in this movie is unhinged at times. Like, Tachyon's race is literally like when she beat, you know, spoiler alert, she beats Jungle Pocket.
Crazy.
Dude, that entire sequence and subsequently after her race that I'm talking about is literally directed, shot, like the music direction is like a fucking horror movie. Like, it is shot.
What?
Yes, it is like all of the directing is like a horror movie, like a suspense thriller in a way.
Who's the director / storyboarder? Who's going as?
So the director, the only director listed for regular director, like base director, is Ken Yamamoto, and I don't know what he's full directed other than this movie. He's done like animation director for FGO, Pre-Kone, like a bunch of side game stuff. Oh, okay. So he also directed a Pokemon movie.
So it seems like pretty standard though. Yeah,
Yakusoku.
right? It's like
yeah. He doesn't have any other, from what I'm seeing.
It's not like he's also directing like
insane.
Hikanatsu or like summertime rendering or whatever
check
stuff
out
like
this
that.
clip,
like
isn't it
stuff.
cool?
Yeah, and so like this staff did insane work.
You say that like I haven't watched this movie, Toast. Like,
so it's pretty cool,
like,
right there.
All of it, like all of this movie is gorgeous. And like I said, like there's so many interesting things to really, you know, consider with this movie. Like I said, like that directing was crazy. There's a directing moment where they get into like what do you call it? Almost like a what's it called? Not what am I thinking of? Like imposter syndrome, like type shit with Jungle Pocket. And after a win, it's like shot as almost like or directed as and with the sound and everything is almost like a, you know, like a dreamlike montage type thing. And then later they reuse like the same scene and twist it, like sequence of scenes and twist it to like show her imposter syndrome basically of winning this race, and not feeling like she even earned it, or that it was enough. But yeah, like there's so many just insane parts of this movie. and I can't recommend it enough. I think it's one of the best. It's one of the best looking animated movies I've seen in a decent amount of
Is this
time.
done by
This
Cygames
is Side Games
Pictures,
Pictures
like
again.
in
Yes,
house?
this is Side Games
Yeah,
Pictures
yeah.
dabbing,
This is
dabbing
like
on everyone again.
this feels like yeah, it's like because we kept talking about this with even before I think being braver, right? Even before that, we were talking about how obviously like it's obvious to everyone initially. Like let's first say that Side Games Pictures is and a lot of other bigger conglomerate companies too, right, are trying to create their own in-house studios. But obviously, Side Games has been kind of in the front of the pack, right, in terms of really trying to branch out, really trying to create their in-house stuff, utilizing it for their own kind of in-game trailers, stuff like that, right, and then eventually branching off into anime. But it's very fascinating to me to see them advance this in-house studio this quickly. You know what I mean? Like this Braver was one thing, but then also kind of pumping out that sort of consistent
Yeah,
quality
pumping out like an
like
Uma
that is very
Musume movie
surprising.
of this quality with this many people like on it, like they spared no expense with this. It's
Yeah.
genuinely like insane what they did.
Mhm.
And yeah, like Spire, like if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the scenes, let's see if we can find it. I don't know if that's the one Toast linked or not. But yeah, like Tachyon's like quote unquote alt moment, and then subsequently the fall like after that race is insane the way it's shot. Like not to give away too much.
Here,
Like
you like Tachyon, right?
there is like a blood
Yes,
red.
yeah.
It's like a blood red. What would you call it? Like lighting to all the scenes of what happens after and everything. And yeah, it's literally shot like, and just the sound design too is absurd. Like the music is great and everything, and like the score is incredible. Um, but the actual like just the production of just the way all the sound is mixed and everything, like the cheering of the crowds, um, positional audio, like everything is just insanely good in this film.
This almost looks like a like scene from something like Kisniver or like something that Trigger would do with like some of their more like darker scenes or something like that. Honestly, it's like pretty wild.
Yeah, it's
It's like
insane. Um, and it really reinforces again to me that like Uma Musume is genuinely one of the just best like cheesy sport like corny sports series like media out there. Like we can talk about like shonen series, and obviously they do like the power up like shonen type shit like quite a lot and everything. I think the way the plot points and everything and the storytelling that Uma Musume's had throughout at this point, and especially this movie of like an athlete's journey has been like second to none. And the way that this movie handles it with its directing is just
I think
incredible. The way it
also,
elevates it.
I think also what's important is that um like Cygames, I'm sorry for kind of repeating this, but it's like Cygames Pictures really came to fucking play. Where it's like, especially with something like this, where it's very 2D idol adjacent, right? At the end of the day, they could have just been like, even with the
The funny
movie, right?
thing
They could have
is,
just put in
the funny
3D
thing
scenes,
is,
3D CGI of them running, like the
much
models of
like
them just like running at that boom.
well, that's kind of like what the first seasons of Pretty Derby were. And it's like Pretty Derby
Yeah.
obviously also
They kind of
had all of the like concert scenes and everything. And as we saw with
yeah.
Sin Gray, and now with this movie does not feature a concert.
Yeah. They kind
Like
of moved
there is
away from the
no
idol
winning
stuff a lot.
concert. They talk
Mhm.
about that there's winning concerts and performances, but they're just like, nah, forget that shit. Like whatever, who cares? Like that's basically an excuse
Kind of
for their
similar to
character design at this point,
Yeah,
more
I
so
think
than it
they
is
also kind
like
of took that. Yeah, they kind of took that lesson also from the kind of recent trend with not with like Love Live, but I think with Idolmaster, because the most recent Idolmaster movie, which was Mukugawa, what is it, to the other side of the rainbow or something like that. I forgot what the exact name was with the Idolmaster, right? That was like a much more like kind of, I want to say, gray, serious, like training camp kind of focused movie, plus a lot of the recent spin-offs, right? For instance, the one with what was the one with Lollies? Was it U-149, right? I still
Yeah.
Cinderella Girls
Yeah.
U-149.
It's
That
like
was
their
like way less
performances
focused
are like kind
on
of taking a backseat, and it's like yeah,
yeah.
honestly, like I can handle like just put that shit in the game, put that shit out, and it's like its own little like
Yeah.
OVAs or something. It's like
Hmm.
when you're sitting in this movie, it's like yeah, no, this is just a pure sports like athlete's journey movie, like full
Hmm.
on,
I think they took their
and
lesson
it's
from that
incredible.
and then just kind of yeah. For sure. For sure. Okay.
Just
But
saying
yeah,
though, Agnes Tachyon probably the best 1 star in the game. She's only 1 star. She's definitely carried me through a lot, and she's super easy to build.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I'm
This
glad you
does.
really enjoy that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I literally I can't recommend this enough. I can't recommend this enough to people who like honestly like even if you were someone who doesn't know anything about Uma Musume, doesn't
Uh-huh.
care, even someone who's like not even really into anime, but could like
Mhm.
appreciate an animated film. Like
Right.
this film is insane with what it does.
Mhm.
And yeah, just really good vibes too.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe
But
one
yeah.
day we'll also get the flashback of a Musume I really want, where it's all like the old trainers, in like the fucking 70s attire. Like we keep seeing with all the old trainers and their flashbacks, and it's like, damn man, I really want to get an Uma Musume like vintage series where like it's all like old Japanese culture, like old Japanese pop culture shit, like
Yeah.
70s, 80s stuff, and like the trainers with the slick back hair caps and like shitty glasses.
Well, I forget. There are like these like rash of movies in at least like the West coming out where like they're doing like Formula One racing, for instance, for like themes and stuff like that. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll ride
I
that
want
wave
that
and
for Uma
yeah,
Musume. Like
yeah,
that would
yeah,
be
yeah,
so
yeah.
sick.
Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you very much, Stark, for helping to cover this. And again, I would also, against just the recent kind of like Musume stuff that's come out, especially the ones backed by Side Games Pictures. I think they've shown both through the quality of the animations general and just how the story flow is. They've really learned some interesting, good lessons from their involvement with stuff like Automaster Cinderella Girls and so on. And, it is interesting that both obviously Musume, which is already popular, are getting some pretty good anime adaptations, which doesn't usually happen that much with mobile games. But also that Side Games Pictures is really, as I said, coming to fucking play. They are going hard in the paint and they are just like I I shouldn't honestly be praising in-house studios and like all this consolidation, but the work that these people at least are doing in the studio is quite good. So, props to them.
Was it worth waiting 4 years for Uma Musume? Or was it? Or do you want to count 2018 as like the first POV? Was 6 years for Uma
Uh
Musume? Was it worth it?
For the game, no. for
yeah,
for
not
the
for the game,
series
yeah,
as a
for sure.
whole, and I will say this as a closing thing too, like the blow up
Mm.
that it's had in the West does make me very happy. As much as I don't really
Yeah.
care for the game myself and stuff, like the fact that they were able to take off this much with like a pretty simple like deck builder type gotcha, and now it's probably going to get like a bunch of random people who otherwise would have had no knowledge of this series, like maybe watching the show and realizing like, oh wait, the anime has just been like some of the best sports media out there, like plain and simple. Like that really does make me very happy.
Hmm. All right. Well, again, thank you very much, Dark. And I guess with that, that was our 2 weeks. Although we did take a little bit of detour, a good detour into the Uma Musume movie. But with that in mind, let's start off with our reviews. Starting off with Toast. What do you have for us?
Huh?
Your series, please. First impressions, whatever.
Oh, shit, what's it called?
It is. Do you want me to read it out here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It is Clevatess. Majuu no O to Akago no to Shikabane no Yuusha. So, what is it?
Yeah.
King of Beasts and the King of Beasts and the baby and the what is it? And the skeleton. What is it?
Oh,
Is and the
Shikabane is
corpse
usually
hero.
corpse,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
like Shikabane Hime. Yeah, okay.
Corpse hero.
So the story is that there's this I get do you want to call it a continent? Let's call it a continent. There's a
Mhm.
continent called something. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, there's a continent, and then our 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 first character we meet is Alicia. Alicia, 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 the and she's a young girl in the countryside who's like, Father, why do we only live on this continent, and why is everything on the map like all black and dark? And then the father's like, it's because on this continent there are four demon kings, the four heavenly kings, north, south, east, and west. And whenever we try to explore these lands, they always beat us back. So we're gonna live on this continent forever. And then Lisa's like, when I grow up, I want to become a hero and defeat the beasts. And then cut to later on, we cut to her as an adult, and she's part of this like gang of 13 heroes chosen by the king of Haydn to eliminate one of the four demon kings, so they can travel beyond the continent. And the thing about these heroes is that they're all blessed with. What makes you a hero is you have this special weapon that I guess allows you to slay demon beasts. It's made out of this red metal called Arcanonite. I guess it's a magic ore, I guess. And so they make their way to the King's lair, and this Demon King introduces itself as the titular person, Clevatess, and it's some sort of wolf with tentacles kind of thing, I guess. Yeah. And then they try to fight Clevatess, but they all get annihilated instantly, all 13 heroes. And then
What? Okay.
and then Clevatess is like, "Damn, why are these insects trying to kill me? I must go see what's up." And then he goes to visit the kingdom of Hedon. Is it Hedon?
Wait, so is this story from the perspective of Clevatess? Or is it from the
Yeah, it
perspective
is.
of the
That's why
girl?
he's in the title,
Okay.
my dude. So
Well, yes.
Clevatess visits the height or visits the kingdom of Haydn. It's Haydn, and he's
Mhm,
laying waste to it. And then he meets the royal family. He's like, "Hey, humans, why are you trying to fight me? Like, why are you
mhm.
trying to invade my lands? I have to beat you back every time." And he's like, "Depending on your answer, I will destroy the kingdom." And the king's like, "I don't talk to beasts." Then he annihilates the kingdom. The end. Not really though. Well,
Yeah.
then after Clevatess destroys the kingdom, he sees this dying lady with a baby, and the dying lady is like, "Oh, please have mercy on me. Have mercy on this child. He doesn't know any better." And then Clevatess is like, "You humans are all insects to me. Why do I care about an insect?" And then the mom was like, "Babies don't care how they're born or how they live." And it's like, she doesn't deserve to die just because she's a human. And then Clementine is like, okay, bet. Then he takes the baby, and that's the
Okay.
titular baby. And then
So
Clementine
is
is like,
this
uh,
you should
Clementine is
okay,
like,
yeah,
damn.
go.
He goes back to his hut. And he's like, damn, this baby's crying. What do I do about this baby? He's like, I don't know how to raise humans. Here, this baby's pooping. Let the bugs eat its poop. But why is the baby still crying?
Okay.
And then he's like, "All right, I guess I need a woman to take care of the baby." And then he killed all the heroes, but then he revives Alicia because she's the only female of the 13 heroes. And he's like, "Okay, woman, take care of this baby." And she's like, "What?" I, and then that's basically the story. That's how all
So
three
is
characters
this
meet.
can I get a sort of, I guess, extrapolation from you? Is this sort of like what is this story? Is this some sort of like weird variant
I
on the
believe
Ren series? Is this like a journey thing? What's happening here?
it's a seinen series. The whole thing about Clevatess is like humans, like this small baby intrigues me. I guess whatever in humans, and
Mhm,
so he's like, okay, so I'm going to raise this human child, but not really because I need a human to help me raise this child, and I'm going
mhm,
to make this child. And since humans are like this, and in order for humans to stop invading my lands, I shall make this child human and rule from the
mhm,
shadows, so humans will stop bothering me. And
mhm.
that's basically Clevatess's whole reason for raising this child.
And is
So
this
right,
like is one of the themes in this story like the standard? Oh, like I thought humans sucked, but humans aren't that bad. They're just all kind of they just all have their different emotions. Is that kind of thing, or is it like kind of like
I
one of those dungeon crawler kind of isekai kind of
I
stuff where it's
I
like,
I would say more towards the first one because it's
mhm,
obvious it will be about how learns about humans and how they function because he only
right,
saw them
right,
as
right, right,
insects who tried to invade his land. So he's like, oh, I guess
right.
I'll learn to be human. And then that's who you see on the cover. It's like
Hmm.
the horn chick is Clevatess's human form
Hmm.
that he took the form of the dying mother, like of the baby, but with a horn because I guess sure why not.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then Alicia's like the sidekick who got revived because she's a woman and a human. So she'll know how to help me raise this child. And then the child, I guess the child's called Luna. They make it pretty obvious that the child is royalty from the beginning. It's like, oh, it's this child is like the child of the king that I killed. And so like we're gonna
Okay.
make this child human or king, and he's gonna rule the lands, and I'm gonna be watching from the sidelines so that humans stop bothering me every time. And yeah, that's basically the premise of the first episode. There, this first episode is surprisingly 1 hour long, so that
It's
was
1 hour.
it's
Wait,
one
is this a
hour. That's
Netflix
weird.
series? Is this a Netflix series? What's happening?
Is it? No, it's on Crunchyroll.
It's
The
just
first
regular, but it's 1 hour. Okay,
the
that's
first
interesting.
episode's 1 hour. The second episode I haven't seen yet. It just came out. Is 30 minutes. So yeah,
Okay. You mean 30 minutes as in like the standard plus
yeah.
like, okay. Okay, interesting.
So yeah, this
Oh.
series is categorized as seinen, and I guess it shows. What else do I need to say about it?
Is this going to do you think this is going to like kind of fill out into like a series of mini arcs where it's like Clevatess and the baby kind of face, I guess like challenges from the humans, let's say, for instance, right? And kind of have to go through that through like mini arcs, or is it just going to be like an episodic, like kind of episode by episode they kind of interact with different humans, well, and kind of figure out different things, or what do you think is going to happen?
Well, the first episode ends with like they're going to travel to find a wet nurse because Alicia hasn't had a child yet, so she can't produce
Uh-huh.
any milk to you know nurse the baby. But then they get
Right,
captured
right,
by
right.
bandits. So that's like it's pretty. It's what's telling is that Clevatess is going to see all the aspects of like what humanity has to offer, and the first one right now is oh we're being taken to a slave trader and we're being captured, and then we got to find our way out of this.
That's a pretty standard isekai kind of development, isekai-ish kind of development, though, right?
But yeah, the thing is that I guess what makes it kind of different is that while Clevatess is in well, now apparently her human form, she's weaker than she was as like the beast. So she really doesn't want to do anything as of yet. She's like, I just want to see how this plays out. So it's up to Alicia to solve the problems, and that's why she's probably like she's the foil, and to Clevatess's lackadaisical ways. And yeah,
My so I have another question. How much sort of how do I say this? Because it's like in a lot of these sorts of like evil dragon isekai or something like Overlord or whatever. There's a lot of this like power fantasy kind of thing going on, right? How much of that is present in this Clevatess?
what do you mean by power fantasy? And in this
Power
case,
fantasy, as in like kind of prolonged scenes of obviously just like, oh, I'm just like because I'm the demon god or whatever, I'm just wrecking everything, and that's like a lot of the scenes kind of value is from the protagonist kind of stomping on his
like I
enemies.
like I mentioned earlier, when Clevatess was in his demon form, he'd annihilated everything. But as a human,
Hmm.
like he got hit in the head by a bandit and immediately collapsed. So it's like, oh, like I said, he
Oh,
mentioned
okay, okay, okay,
he's as
okay.
weak as a human now, basically.
Okay, I see, I see, I see.
In this form, but I guess he has to transform to use his full powers. That's what
Hmm.
I'm saying right
Okay,
now.
okay,
Only one episode. But yeah, so
okay,
far,
okay.
the premise itself is pretty interesting. Um, there's a lot more world to go on about.
Mhm.
Apparently, eh, there's some sort of prophecy that like the kingdom of Haiden will attack one of the demon beasts, and something bad will happen to it. And then and then there's a other couple kingdoms in this world. There was I think they mentioned there's like 5 or 4 types of humans in this world, humanoid creatures. There's like the ogres, and then there's regular humans, and then there's like barbarians, and then the kingdom of Haiden, which is the only kingdom capable of creating weapons made from arcanasite, which is what they use to fight what everyone else uses to fight the demon beasts. I guess you could equate it to some sort of dwarven kingdom, because they work with metallurgy, and they're the only ones capable of crafting these legendary weapons. And once the other kingdoms heard of the kingdom of Haiden's downfall, they're one of the kingdoms which looks like regular humans. They immediately went over to like, oh, we're gonna invade the kingdom and try to see if there's any survivors, because we must monopolize the 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 ability to create magic weapons for ourselves, because
Mhm.
only the Haiden royal family can create these legendary weapons. And so they make it an obvious like in the in the world, they make it an obvious thing that Luna, who is the last surviving member of the royal family of Haiden, will be the one to create magic weapons. So they're kind of looking for survivors, and there's going to be some sort of storyline involving that.
Okay, 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 okay. Um, I guess so. You haven't read the original source material, right? I think.
No, I have not. It's a manga.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
okay, okay,
I'll check it afterwards, because this is pretty interesting.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you go over a little bit about the audio visuals, if you can?
So the studio that does this is, how do you pronounce this? Le Duce, Le Dutch, Le Duce, Le Duce.
Yeah, it's what is it? I know it's Ladus or something like that.
Le
Isn't
Duce.
it like yeah, yeah.
Sure, and it's a pretty famous it's a pretty famous studio. Have you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, for
heard of
sure. Like
Maji Sinbad, that
yeah,
Sinbad guy? Have you heard of
the better Magi series or the better Magi
wow,
adaptation.
that's racist. Release the Spice. Who covered Release the Spice? Was it
Wasn't it
which
near?
one? Near, you like Spice? What about the ninjas, right?
Wait, what?
Release the Spice. Wasn't that
Did
about
you
the ninja
cover
chicks?
Release Spice? Didn't somebody
Release
cover
the
Release Spice?
spice.
I feel like one of us, not to be
I
confused with Fight
recognize
Guardian
the
Spice, by the
name,
way.
but I don't think I
I don't
covered that.
remember where any of us covered this. I know we talked about it in the
We talked
previous.
about wanting to cover it probably, right? I think because
Yeah,
we're like,
I don't remember though.
Oh
okay,
But
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
no one did cover this. Yeah, no one
uh,
covered this one.
it's also the same studio that did Faker and Order Near.
Yeah,
Fate
not
Grand
the good,
Order.
not the good, not the good
Not
one.
the good ones.
but-
I guess, yeah. And also some series called Yuri. I don't know what that is. Looks
No,
kind
no.
of.
Well, they helped with that because Leydus did.
Oh, they did.
Wait,
Okay.
did they do season 3 of Yuri? Because I know that there
Maybe.
was
Yuri with
a
the with
studio
the
change.
Yuri with the comma. Is that it? Which one is that?
Sanhai,
Just
no,
an OVA.
Sanhai is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they might have been OVA because I know that Dogakobo at least did season 1 and 2. I think there was a studio change in season 3 and as well as the OVAs, but I forget the other stuff. But yeah, Leydus had a lot of good work for sure.
And they also did a Tomo-chan is a chick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. I remember this one. Yes. You covered that one as well, if I remember correctly.
Me? No. Dark.
Really?
No, I covered that one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
But overall, it's pretty good. As I guess as a seinen, it leads the atmosphere well because the series itself is pretty dark, like dark and has muted colors, and a lot of the animation style looks like it was drawn in like heavy pencil, if you know what I mean, like
Mhm.
heavier outlines.
Oh, okay. I see.
But like, I guess if I want to. I guess if I want, it evokes similar vibes to Mushoku Tensei in its coloring, I would say.
Oh, okay, I see.
Just like in its coloring, it's slightly inferior to it, but it's still pretty good.
I mean, Mushoku
It
Tensei
is
is
Mushoku
kind of
Tensei. Yeah. High bar.
up there. So
Yeah. Can
But
I
yeah,
also
dark
ask you a
colors.
little bit?
Yeah.
Can I also ask you a little bit about the opening ED, especially the ED? I took a little bit of a look at the Anime News Network information, and I did a double take. Can you explain to me what this ending is all about?
Uh,
What's happening
episode
there?
1 does not have the ending. It only has the opening.
Oh, really? Okay,
There's there an ending? Let me peep it real quick, or link it real quick. I'll give it to you.
So let me. So the I don't think I have the, but it's apparently a song by Ellie Goulding, who is
Who's
making
that?
an ending. Just a random Grammy-winning, singer songwriter, but it's
Is she the one that did Snake Eater?
No,
I forget. Did she,
Well, then
no,
I don't care.
no. Ellie Goulding is the fucking the one that the singer of Lights.
Mhm.
That track, the
But
one that was
yeah,
on the fucking radio constantly over and over and over again.
yeah.
Oh, this
And I
ending?
saw this and
Let
I
me
was
see.
like, what is happening right now? Like, why? How did they get Ellie Goulding in a fucking random ass anime? Like,
I mean, I guess the song's okay, but there's not much of the ED at all. It's just like, oh, here's a fairy tale book,
yeah.
and it's
The
a pages.
storyboard is probably, yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I don't have any. It's fine, I guess.
Mhm.
Sorry, I only listen to Bruno Mars.
yeah.
Because
Okay. And what about?
he's Filipino. That's literally all I'm gonna give you. I don't know I don't know who Ellie
Okay.
Goulding is. Ed Sheeran, I recognize the name, but I don't know.
You say Ed Sheeran? Is that what you just said? Ooh.
Because you recognize it. But yeah,
I
I
know
guess
who Ed
anything
Sheeran
else?
is. He's that funny looking English guy with the wild hair. Good for him. Were they not
Okay,
married?
but
Google says they're married. Are they married?
Who?
no, no, I mean, but
Saying
anyways,
Ellie
what
Goulding? Are
about
you
the
trying to say Ellie Goulding is married to Ed Sheeran?
married to Ed Sheeran? No,
I don't
okay,
believe
one
no,
of
that.
that's
the
definitely
Hey,
not a thing.
That's one of the Google questions that popped up. It was like, is Ed Sheeran married to Ellie Goulding? I don't know. I didn't click on that.
Oh,
Okay, but yeah,
That is
I guess
absolutely
the
not.
ED's fine. It did not appear in the first episode, so I don't know what to tell you, my dude.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to point that out because I was like, I saw it, I was like, what is going on right now? But yeah, anything, I guess, anything else then with regards to VOPED audiovisuals?
The opening is Ruler by Mayu Maeshima. It's all right. It's pretty good. It's a
Okay,
pretty
I
good
guess.
opening. Right
Mhm.
now, is it going to be anime open this season? No, I think I'm right now. I don't have. It's okay, I guess.
That's
I,
fine.
I there's not much that came out like episode 1 so far,
Mhm.
so I don't have much.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I have no strong feeling about this whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, audios or the visuals are pretty good for a seinen, and it's dark. Whatever. Audio is fine. Overall, the series has potential. I want to say it has potential.
Okay.
The premise is interesting. The story's pretty interesting off the bat. What is this? What is this genre called? Uh, Papakatsu? Is that no? What am I thinking of?
What? Okay, no, that's definitely not it.
What's Papakatsu?
What are you talking?
What
What
is it?
genre are you trying to talk about?
Raising a daughter, like this all powerful being, probably not human, raising a daughter kind of a genre. What's it called?
I
Uh,
don't think there's a name for the genre.
but yeah,
I think generally they
it's
just run with parenting.
parenting, I
Yeah,
guess.
parenting like
Like,
Kyoik
oh,
something. I don't know. So that's
do you want to call it? Do you want to call it the Tarzan genre? I'm gonna call it the Tarzan genre.
Huh?
sure anything but Papa Cuts because that's a completely different term.
What does Pamukatsu mean? I saw it as an abbreviation for a different series.
Papa Cuts is a term well where you're essentially you're doing girlfriend experience kind of
That like
stuff.
DILF?
But
Oh, compensated
yeah,
dating. Oh, so it's rental girlfriend. I got
yes,
you.
yes.
Sick.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
anything else?
for the Tarzan genre, I'm gonna call it. It's pretty good right now.
Mm.
It has premise. I see potential. It, it's an I keep saying this word, but it's an honest series. You know, I'll keep saying it. Like it's an honest series where it doesn't try to make fun of you or the reader. It does it, and it doesn't have
Okay.
this wild like most isekais have this nonsensical title. It's like, haha, I'm doing this title just so I can sell. It can catch your eye on Shiosetsu. But yeah, this is an honest series. I'm gonna keep saying it
Mhm.
honest. It has a pretty
Okay.
good. It has a pretty interesting premise and story that's building up. And yeah, all in all, I'm gonna give it a solid average score.
Okay. Of what?
Yeah,
Seven?
what, like seven,
Eight?
seven
What?
and a half?
I believe
Nine?
it. Oh, I should probably mention. I'll give it an 8. I should probably mention some
Okay.
of the voice actors. Clevatess in his demon form, I guess we want to call it, is voiced by Yuichi Nakamura. Do you guys know who that is?
Some random person. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Oh yeah, name one role, Spire.
Uh, actually, I had this the other day where I kept mistaking, what is it? The Oreimo, right? The main guy in Oreimo that's done by voiced by Yuichi Nakamura, right? I kept mistaking that with Kamiya Hiroshi Kamiya, because I kept like in my head, I kept kind of seeing the design of the Oreimo main guy as Araragi. You know what I mean? Because their hairstyles are super similar. So I kept like being like, "Oh, this is Hiroshi Kamiya, right?" But it's not. But yeah,
That's crazy, bro.
Oreimo main character. You agree with me though, right? The hair designs are like exactly the same. It's like the
I
same
mean, yeah, but that's just
hair
such a
designs.
strange. That's just like such a strange like association to be like.
It's because like during that era, like in the 2000s and stuff like that, like Kami Hiroshi and Nakano Yuichi were going around voicing like all of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
main characters, right? This was just a little bit between Kajiyuki really started popping off. But yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that's not out of that good. Wait a minute. But yeah,
But
I know you
yeah,
said Nakano
not
Yuichi and then who else?
that's for the demon form. When he's in his or her human form, he has a different voice actor because he took the form of Luna's dead mother,
Mm,
and then
Shiraishi Haruka as Alicia.
as Alicia, and then I guess that's the two main characters who are focused on Luna. Luna's a baby; she doesn't talk. But they showed a mysterious person who wields a hammer and has the royal crest in the opening. Thanks for the spoiler. So I guess Luna has a voice actor too. We're gonna go for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's surprising is this has a simuldub because when I was watching this, I also saw an English dub. So
Mhm.
I guess check that out if you feel like it. Simuldubs.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Overall, you still didn't mention who Yuichi Nakamura is. How dare you?
Yeah, some random voice actor, some random seasoned veteran voice actor.
The newcomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say check it out. It's not an isekai, but it's part of the Dark Factory genre. Dark
Mhm.
Factory, Toy Factory. What am I? Toy
Okay.
Fact. Oh, dark fantasy genre.
Dark fantasy, I think, yes.
Yeah. It's not an isekai, so it definitely bumps up the score several folds to
Mhm.
that. But yeah, I'd say for episode one, it's pretty interesting. Check it out. It has a score of what's the score? 7.85 on Mall. That's pretty high, right?
I think people were kind of fooled about like how the kind of outside looked, and then they were pleasantly surprised probably about how the inside was of the contents of the actual series, probably is how that kind of panned out. But yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'd
Um,
say definitely check it out.
mhm.
Very cool. It has potential for the one episode that I saw. I'll
Right.
definitely be checking out the manga afterwards, after this, and I'll keep watching the anime. Yeah, pretty good.
All right. All right. See, thank you very much, Toast. I know this was one of the more interesting kind of premises that we had in the preview show that we had, but I'm glad that you managed to cover it as as strange as the premise was. But I'm glad also that turned out to be pretty good as well. So, but yeah, thank you, Toast. And that was again Clevatess. Majuu no O to Akago to Shikabane no Yuusha. So if you want to kind of check out an interesting kind of dark fantasy genre, a little bit based a little more around like some of the moral themes are a little bit more standard, but the overall premise of the setup is pretty uncommon. And if you want that little sort of interesting bit of fresh air, please do check this out. And next we have on the docker Dark. What do you have for us?
Oh, I have Outcast Restaurant Outcast or Outcast Restaurant
Yes.
rather.
Welcome to the Outcast restaurant. I believe it's this light novel original, I think, or some
Yeah,
probably
this is
not
a light
okay.
novel
Yeah.
original. This is being done by Studio LM.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the artist, Dark? Let's get this out of the way.
I don't know who is the artist. I didn't actually look at that and look that
Oh,
up.
For the light novel,
yeah.
Gao Gao. What have they done?
Spire, would you like to go into this?
Let's see this for the original character design.
Oh, original character design, Minato Aqua. Is that what you're
Wow.
referring to?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's like their only credit on Mal.
Well, do you? I posted this before. Like, do you guys? You didn't look into Inspire? No.
No, I didn't look into it. Sorry.
The reason why they were on the credits on the anime before, and now they're not.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
why
I
is
see. I see. I see.
Oh, is that what you posted? I had no idea what that was, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. This one. Why? Because the scandal happened recently with this guy and the incident. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. That's why.
But yeah,
I remember this one.
shame because yeah, they did some stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but they're removed from the
Yeah.
credits, and now they're banned. I guess they're shunned in the industry. And
Yeah.
yeah, sure, continue, Dark.
That's how it goes.
Oh. Anyway, so this is a fantasy series. This like opens up with the main character Dennis in a like dragon fight with his party. The leader, who's a swordsman, winds up enraging the dragon and basically sabotages him to not sabotages him and then kicks him out. Because he was like, saying that them fleeing, like enraging it was his fault or something like that. Anyway, the important thing is that he's a level 99 cook, like a level 99 chef.
Yeah. This is.
But
This is
him
usually
being
the most
level
important thing.
99, yeah, him being level 99 also means that he has a good command over like strength and magics. It's just that his actual like specific abilities are focused on cooking.
Who would win in a
so
fight? A level 99 cook or a level 99 mob boss?
it kind of depends on the, how they use their skills. But so he gets kicked out of his party. He winds up then going to a different town and starting a restaurant. So he then winds up setting up his restaurant. He's spending like a lot of his money. And then he gets he's looking for a what do you call it? Like to hire help basically. To have like a server at his restaurant. And like an advertiser. And so then he stumbles upon a slave auction. And it's the slave auction of a exiled noble girl, Atelier. And so then he basically outbids and spends the rest of his savings almost on her.
Also, again,
And then
a very
and then it
classic
turns
trope.
and then it turns into and then it
You
kind of
should
just turns
probably
into like
hold
their
on, Dark.
cozy life. Sort of like
You should
starting a restaurant.
elaborate. Is it a beast folk?
No, she's just a noble. She's just an exiled noble. So they just
Can I also ask another?
She's
You
a
know, in
slave.
these stories, you usually have you always have a demi-human slave somehow, but apparently
Yeah,
not
no,
in this
this
one.
is not. Yeah, this is not like a race-based like slavery thing. The thing is literally just like, yeah, her family is fallen nobles, so
Can I also ask another question? Is this I have seen some of that poster art. How young are these kids?
So weird. So Atelier is obviously the Lolly character.
Okay.
Vivia is like a Tokonoko, I guess, or is going to be. The blue-haired one, when he gets introduced. And then the other two, so Henrietta is weirdly like shown in this to not. I don't know what the deal is with the way this is shot, but Blonde is like much older. And then the other brown-haired one I haven't seen yet because it's only 2 episodes. But the important part
Is
of
he
that
raising
series,
them as more as like a kids,
kind
or
of
is this
for
like
at
actual
least
character
Atelier.
interactions? What happened?
So Henrietta's story is weird. So Henrietta came in as like a poor female swordsman. And then he's like,
Okay.
"Oh, okay, I'll find a party for you." So then he winds up finding a party of four other adventurers that come in. And they're like, "Yeah, we need like a frontliner." And so he sends her off with them.
Okay.
And then 2 other customers come in the following day or the same day or something and are like, yeah, you got this band of 4 adventurers that go around raping solo female swordsmen. That's
What?
crazy, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
We were
And so
off.
anyway, then that obviously starts to happen and he saves her. Gets a lot further than you would expect for them to just immediately brush that shit aside.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so then I guess like she might wind up working there too. That's kind of like where episode 2 ends. Like not a lot happened. And there's not really a lot of restauranting happening or gourmet happening. Which is why I mean, I'm going to keep this
focus
brief.
on them just like adventuring, or what's happening? Like
Pretty much like the focus has really not been on the restaurant much at all. Like they've been in the restaurant and like obviously like it surrounds the restaurant,
sucks.
but it's not like a gourmet. Like this is not a gourmet series.
Yeah. Okay.
They've had like very briefly like gourmet stuff, but they don't really do like the food porn you would expect from a series like that. Let's put it this way.
Right.
Like I forget the Japanese title of it, but the Time for Torture Princess series has more gourmet in it than this series, like easily. Hands down.
What? Okay.
But yeah, in general, like the audio visuals are not great. It's OLM, so can only be so good, but these are like kind of substandard, I would say, even for them. Yeah, I don't think the series is very good. I should throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna keep up with it just to see like what happens.
Just putting it out.
I'm gonna keep up with it to see like where this goes. Once all the other characters start to jump in. But as far as this series like as far as I'm concerned, like I don't particularly think that this does a great job just in general really with much of what it tries to handle. Because like I said, like it's not finding a good balance already, and I don't know, maybe when all the characters are introduced, it'll get more into the day-to-day operation of the restaurant and like more gourmet stuff, and they'll introduce like each character each episode. And so like, after the next 2 episodes will be when it really hits its stride. But we'll see. I think really what it keeps on back foot too is that it's OLM, so I don't think that the food scenes will really ever hit as much as you'd like it to.
Yeah, it's not like a Dogokobo series or anything like that, like or like a literature series.
Yeah, and the way they're introducing these characters, the way they're introducing the story seems to be more of like a more focused on like the outcast nature and the misfit nature than it is going to focus on the food and restaurant itself, which again is also disappointing. Yeah, it's a lot of like, and like I said, like you can kind of tell from the beginning too, because this is a like, this is a fantasy series, but I kind of, again, I hate the way Japan takes for granted calling something a fantasy series, and then they just introduce like levels and skills as if it's like an RPG. I hate that. I like, again, like we've had this discussion so many times. I won't. Yeah, it's lazy. It's so fucking lazy. It's like not interesting at all. It sucks all the life out of the world space to me. Like, so I really don't see that being interesting at all either.
For me, it's like there's like a use for, or like there are ways to make it palatable, and it's like okay, but it's a very like it kind of becomes disappointing when you start realizing it's like, oh, it's obviously, you know what I mean? It's like it's obviously something that's kind of done not because it has a place in the world, but because it's just easy to write. You know what I mean? It's like
it's an easy justification for things. Like it's it's taken to the extreme to the point where it's like I would consider something like even the Trash Slime series like from a couple seasons ago to be significantly better in the sense of like, even if you're doing a series where it's like, you can get like skills divined by the gods and you have like one skill that you're really good at, like that's basically your birthright skill, I think at the very
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that is at least like something and something you can go with. When you just start being like, yeah, I'm a fucking level 99 and this guy's a level 99 and this other person's level 23, and you don't even have the decency to be a fucking isekai or like a um a what would you call like villainous like oh I got sucked into a fucking um like reverse harem type like scenario thing or anything like that. Like
Hmm.
when you don't even have the decency to just like go all the way and do that, it's like to me, I'm just like, well, yeah, you're just proving to me that like you are purely just like lazy. Like you do not want to justify anything in this world. Like you don't want to.
And also, the biggest thing to me is that because it's like, what is so?
The
It's like
crazy
if we
part to me
start
is like
from,
is like none of this even matters. Like
yeah, yeah,
realistically,
yeah.
like he could have just been an adventurer that was really good
Yeah,
at
so
cooking
yeah, yeah.
and
So
really
yeah, yeah.
strong.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, because it's like, what is the initial drawing premise of this story? It's the fact that he like cooks and is really good at cooking, and presumably, from the outsider's perspective, he's going to use that to some proper extent, right? But then, and this is again part of what's lazy about the writing, is that it becomes this story of, oh yeah, he's just really good, and then he uses his skills to beat other people over the head. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, well, like, what was the part of the cooking premise? Like, what was the point? You know what I mean? And that's again part of the lazy writing.
Yeah, like
Like,
you could just
why?
make him a really strong guy then. Like there's really no
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
reason.
just using his level to beat people over the head. And it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And in fact it would make more sense cuz like I don't know what the plan is of the original party leader, but apparently he has like some ultimatum for removing him from the party to begin with. As like
Mm.
another level 99, he was like, "Oh, I'm a level 99 swordsman. We don't fucking cook." Which again is a really dumb premise in and of itself too, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like another character then begged him to come back because they were like, "What the fuck are we gonna eat?" Like
What are we gonna
your
do?
yeah, she was like literally your inclusion in our party was why we could even delve as much as we did because we can't fucking eat otherwise. Um, and so like that's always been a really dumb part of these series too, of like the exile character, which again I think is also lazy. Um,
Mhm.
it was like the same thing with like Redo of Healer and shit like that, where for some fucking reason these stories just decide, hey, who's the most useful support character in our party? What if we just like shit all over them and then get rid of them? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're working in this world, like this world works on RPG stats, but like none of these people are fucking like smart enough to be like, hey, maybe we need the support guy who has maxed out support stats. We need that. Maybe that would be a good thing to round us out with. Like, nope, nope, don't need that. Me have big sword. Me have big sword and big sword powers. So we don't need that. Like, okay, great. Um, but yeah, so I only see that getting worse.
Mhm.
It just really irks me when there's other characters like Henrietta came on screen and she was like, I'm a level 23 so and so, and I'm like, I don't care. Makes no
Yeah,
fucking
I know.
difference to me.
The
Like,
number means nothing to me.
yeah, who
Yeah, the
gives a
number
shit? You could
is
have said
nothing.
you were a fucking level 57. I don't know what that means. That means nothing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
literally
It's
nothing to me.
just like, especially because at the end of the day, like,
They don't even say the names of
you're
the fucking
not.
enemies. They don't say the names of the enemies.
Yeah,
They didn't say the name. They didn't, or the levels of the enemies. They didn't say the fucking levels of the other party members that fucking assaulted her. Like, they didn't do anything. So it's like, who fucking cares? Like,
yeah,
why are you even
and
telling me
also
this?
the thing is, there are some isekais that like obviously they're. I'm not saying like these are great series or anything like that, but like the authors do some modicum of a job, being like, okay, this the level there's this level progression, and I'm gonna write all about this like dungeon crawler RPG kind of thing. Like for instance, a good example is two major examples are something like Slave Harem in the Labyrinth of the World, and to a lesser extent, the Rising of the Shield Hero. Right, they kind of go into depth with all these numbers on the pages because the authors are nerdly nerds. But that's not really what happens in this series, right? It's just like I have a number. It's like, okay, I know the author is just gonna write whatever, and at the end of the day, the MC is just gonna bop all of you over the head. So it doesn't like the level number
Yeah,
and the stuff seems
it's
very not important.
entirely irrelevant. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's just so it just irks me because it's like, and then you see series like Free Ren and even more obviously you see series like fucking Dungeon Meshi, where Dungeon Meshi
Yeah,
is
yeah.
literally D&D type shit, and they aren't even being like, oh yeah, here's like a level 10 fucking wizard, like here are my stats. It's like, no, it is in like the world is basically like runs around with those rules effectively of like location shit and like certain spells and stuff, but ultimately like the level, like it's not going to bring in like levels because that cheapens it, like that's like peeking too much on the curtain.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I don't know, that just irks me that this series is like trying to pass itself off as like just a regular fantasy. And just in general, when Japanese writers write quote unquote fantasies and then it's just a fucking game or an isekai by another
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
like I don't know, man.
Can you go?
I don't know. I would say this too. And if you have a, so this way, if you have a problem with it, or if you don't have a problem with this, and you're like thinking I'm overthinking it or something like that, just consider the idea of when you are playing like your a beloved RPG or something. If in like cutscenes characters were fucking talking about their levels that you are and your level, like directly. Like if
Yeah.
like if in FF7 or something, Cloud just starts missing shit because it's like, oh well, I'm only level 10. Cool, man. Wow, great cutscenes. Good storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there are
It's
very
very
few occasions in which that's even remotely fucking appropriate to do in a video game, let alone. And so I don't know why these like light novel writers think it's fucking even remotely appropriate to put it in their stories.
yeah. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's just
Can you?
it's very very agitating. OP and
Yeah,
ED are also
it's
completely unremarkable. They're like cozy songs and fine, but it's kind of whatever. Like they're nothing to write home about.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna ask, what about the audio visuals, I guess, in general? I know, again, you said it was by
They're
OLM, and
okay.
it's
They're
not
like
gonna be like,
serviceable.
yeah,
They're
okay.
not like the best. They're not the
Mhm.
worst. The opening is like kind of crazy that they like for some reason animated a dragon pretty well and didn't do any CG or did insane blending. Don't know why they did that, but more power to them.
Okay.
How does this compare to
But yeah,
the how does this compare to the author's other series, which I believe you covered?
what was his other series? I didn't even look that up.
The guild receptionist thought, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
Oh no, bro. This is the same person. It's so
Yeah.
fucking over, dude.
Wait, really? That makes so much
Oh
sense, though, if you think about it.
no,
Doesn't it make
bro,
all
he did
the
the
sense?
same thing. He did the same thing
Yeah,
again, where
where
it's
it's like
like,
he's like
oh, what
he,
about the
the
job?
bait and
Guess
switch,
what?
bait and
The job
switch.
doesn't mean
Yeah,
jack
the bait,
shit. Fuck you. Like,
the
oh,
fucking
okay.
bait and switch. Yo, don't
Wait,
got
Oh,
caught by it
I
twice.
lied. My
You
bad.
got caught by it twice.
I lied.
Oh
The,
wait, really?
the
Okay.
only
oh, it's
relation,
not.
the only relation is the same artist. Wikipedia, you lied to me.
Oh, okay,
Okay, thank
okay.
God. Okay.
Okay, that
Because
makes
if
more
that got
sense, but like,
caught twice out of
holy,
laugh.
bro.
Oh shit.
I was like reeling from that. Like, my God, did it
Oh
again.
my God.
Fool me twice,
Yeah.
won't get fooled again.
Okay, but which one's better?
Which one's better? I mean, this one might be better on virtue of like there's at least some more of the cooking and some more of the job thing. So like, because again, guild reception is very quickly was like 7 episodes in and was like, yeah, the guild reception is irrelevant. This
As
at least
someone
might
who-
maintain the restaurant's
As
relevancy.
someone who reads this series, do you want me to tell you, like, would you like me to reveal how
Yeah,
the
is
series
it
goes on?
relevant? Is it relevant at all? Or
Which is relevant?
the restaurant?
The like, what do you mean by the restaurant? Like the
The dishes and the customers that they serve and
the dishes?
happenings of
No,
the restaurant?
it's no cooking. It's no cooking manga. What does happen is I don't know. I don't remember if you mentioned it, but this is a part of the banishment genre, or like, did you mention that?
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
he just
Like
collects,
Dennis,
like, he
he got
himself was banished. He was banished as a kid, it seems, with the flashbacks. And then also, like, he's collecting, like, banished
yeah
lollies
he,
and shit.
he was banished from his party for they thought he was useless, but in reality he's not. It's that type of show, and that's how it's gonna go on.
That sucks. That sucks so much dick, dude. Like, fuck me.
Why do you think I mentioned that I was gonna cover it? It's part of the banishment genre, my dude.
I mean, I knew it was, but I thought that they were just gonna use that as a stepping off point to be like, yeah, this is why he has all these misfit characters, and they run a restaurant. Fucking
Nope,
at that
it's a
point,
general type of banishment.
bro, fucking Kuma Kuma Bear is a fucking gourmet series. Then, if we want to talk about gourmet series, she opens up a fucking bear themed restaurant with also a bunch of dejected like orphans and shit. Like, okay, that doesn't make it a fucking gourmet series, man.
Sorry, it's no dungeon meshi or campfire cooking.
Doesn't even need to be. I was gonna say it doesn't even need to be dungeon meshi. But like at least be fucking campfire cooking. At least be fucking. At least be fucking.
About the
Restaurant to another
premise,
world.
be
Like
about the premise, yeah.
what the
Fair.
hell, man?
It's not.
Like if you made this just
Yeah.
a series about the misfits bringing in their experience to run a restaurant and like dishes and shit and experimenting, that'd be infinitely more interesting than whatever the hell they're gonna pull here.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
is the difference between a level 99 adventurer and an S rank adventurer, Dark?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna be
guess
honest with you.
any
Actually, I'm
last-
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Actually, no, there is a difference between a level 99 adventurer and an S rank adventurer. Because S rank, the letter rankings of adventurers and shit in other shows is actually a lot more reasonable and a lot more like fucking
Relevant.
not even just relevant, just a lot more like normal, realistically, right? Because you could say you're a 5-star restaurant, right? You could say you're a 5-star, like a person like can get that kind of like recognition, but you can't level. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm a level such and like I'm a level fucking 99 anything, right? Like that's not
Mhm.
how anything would function normally. Like you would not be able to parse that, right? Like you have to be then working on an experience system of like earning credits like that, and that makes no sense. That's why even like adventurer licenses and stuff make sense because that is like a career thing at that point then. But
Mm.
when you're pulling out levels and skills like they do in this, it's like no, that's bullshit. Like that is just a video game, and it makes no fucking
Yeah.
sense.
It's a lot more aqueous in terms of overall strength level when you mention a level like an S rank adventure compared to a level 99 adventure. Because it's like, oh, I'm a level 99. It's supposed to be some sort of hard it's like hard proof, like hard cap, but
Yeah, it's also like okay, so
there's
you're
no
capped, so there's no level 100. Like you can't hit level 100. Why can't you hit level 100? Because it's a fucking video game. Like what? Like oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I didn't realize our world building here was that there would be a fucking parsing error if someone
yeah,
hit above level 99.
the world
My
building
bad.
isn't good enough to say like, oh, I'm level 99. It's like, oh, you're almost to the peak. Okay, sure. It's not
Yeah.
Well,
it's
it's not
not
even that.
descriptive
It's not
enough.
even that. It still would be bad. Like it still would be bad for non like video game based like a fucking non like Sword Art Online like VR MMO type series. Like at the very least, like when they pull out levels in well, and not even at the very least. Like if you look at something like Shangri-La Frontier, Shangri-La Frontier is literally a series about an MMO with no fucking stakes other than playing an MMO, and it has infinitely better world building than this. And it makes a
I
lot
would
more
agree with
sense.
that.
Like all the levels make more sense because it's an MMO. All like everything about it makes more sense and is more grounded and it has a more interesting world space than fucking series. Because again, this series just throws you in. You know nothing about the world. You don't have to care about the world. It's they literally just take it for granted. They're just like, yeah, it's a fantasy town, and obviously since it's fantasy, it has levels. It's like that's not how fantasy functions.
When they don't mention much about the world and that means they try to focus on the characters. Do you at least like the characters, Dark?
Yeah, I don't mind. That's the thing. Like, I don't mind the characters. Like, I don't mind Dennis. Like, I think he's a fine character. I think Atelier is cute. Like, these types of stories are always be cute. But the problem is that like you were saying that if it doesn't focus on the restaurant and the gourmet stuff, and it is more of a I was let go of my party type story, like then I like that plot line is just annoying to me. Like it just does not do it for me whatsoever.
Right. It actually
So
has
that's gonna be a
to, yeah,
big roadblock.
yeah. And that coupled again with the fact that it's just like the premise is kind of fucked. So yeah, but yeah.
No, I mean the
Okay,
premise is
I
fine.
guess.
The premise is fine. It's
Mhm.
not executing on the premise that's going to be the issue then. Because again, like I said, the idea of taking in like a bunch of like misfit type characters into a restaurant and having them run it would be really good. But if that's not what
Mhm.
happens, then it's like, okay, so it's just a level 99 guy. Cool. Who got fucking let go
Yeah.
of his part from his party. Awesome. At that point, he could run he could run anything. He doesn't even need to be a restaurant then.
Mhm. Okay. I guess any last points? Any last words about the
Uh,
series?
Yeah, we got to come up with another name for these. We got to come up for another name for no, not that. We got to come up with another name for or another genre instead of calling these shits fantasies, right?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be another
RPG
name for it.
power.
Yeah, like
I like to call
RPG,
them
like just RPG
power
fantasies. I
fantasies.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, power fantasy kind of
Well,
stuff.
because even
Yeah.
power fantasy is like too all encompassing, right? Because like we said earlier, like the S rank stuff can still be like power fantasies, but to me, again, still makes more sense, right? Like if
Mhm.
you were to introduce a story where it's like S rank adventurers, oh, how did they become S rank adventurers? Well, they get graded based on the type of like adventuring they do. You know, like if they're killing dragons and shit. When you start introducing levels, that's a different beast. That means you can gain experience. That means you can level up. That means you have a stat screen that is
Mhm.
like omnipresent or something. Like that's not the same as like, you know, an abstract idea of like, oh, this person is really good at this. This person is the peak. And even then, there's like a lot of like leeway in between, right? Like you be an S rank
Right.
adventurer that's better than and another S rank adventurer or has a different skill set, things like that. It's like this type of stuff. It's like, oh, he's level 99. That means even though he's a level 99 and a specialist, like his specialization is being a chef, he's basically untouchable to anyone. Like you could be like a level fucking 20 gunslinger and your bullets are going to bounce off of him because he's level 99. Right? Like that
Yeah.
type of shit is a whole different beast in my opinion.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But yeah, it kind of sucks that, it kind of turned out this way. Thankfully, it's not by the same person who wrote the guild receptionist, but
Yeah.
it whiffs. It has the same stink.
Now I will probably keep up this to see what happens with the other characters and where it goes anyway.
Mhm.
But as a first two episodes, like first impressions type thing, this is gigalow. Like this is not good
No bueno.
for me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No, I would literally not recommend anyone check this out. Like
Yeah.
there's zero reason to, in my opinion, with what I've seen so far.
Mhm.
And like I said, the only reason I'm going to continue is to just to just see, to make sure I know where this goes. And like other than that, it's like no. If this basically is persistent throughout, I would literally give this series like a 2 or a 3. Genuinely, like
That's
one of
actually pretty
my
rare
lowest scores.
even
This is
coming from
really
you.
low.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because again, it's like you're just gonna be sitting there. Like, if I'm sitting here the entire time and I'm just like, this restaurant's fucking pointless. This story is literally like your focus for this series is seriously gonna be like a level 99 guy got let go from his party
Mhm.
instead of the fucking restaurant. Okay.
Yeah,
I can
it's
watch a
like
hell of a lot. I
why
gotta
am I
watch a hell of a
yeah,
lot better betrayal series, man. Like,
yeah. Like, why am I reading this one again? It's like, but yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, yeah. Again, it's very, sometimes well, not sometimes, more than we'd like. These series kind of get spit up, but I'm glad that you could warn us about it. But that was, I guess, welcome to the Outcast restaurant. Did you give your rating? Because I know you talked about
yeah, no, I
the.
mean, I said like if it continues like this, I literally would give it a 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think
But
this
yeah,
thing, I
that's
think if it picks up, it could probably top out at like a 6 or a 7. But right now, it's like
yeah,
I don't know how the fuck this has a 7 on Mall, like a 7.2. Like that's
yeah.
insane to me.
Yeah. But unfortunate. But anyways, that was Tsuihousha Shokudou e Youkoso, or Welcome to the Outcast restaurant. Currently, unfortunately, not so much restaurant and a lot more just like power fantasy RPG kind of thing going around. But we'll see what happens to it. All right. Thank you very much, Dark. And moving on, we have Near. What do you have for us?
Wow. I watched Ruri no Houseki. Which has
Sir, I
been
think you got the title wrong, sir.
yeah,
You wanna tell
yes.
us about the you wanna tell us about the English title? The better title?
Yeah, it's been translated for whatever reason as Ruri rocks.
Get it near. It's a
Dude,
double
first of
entendre.
all, first of all,
Wow.
that's super stupid. That's like this is the one time when I agree with the idea of like Westerners wouldn't understand Rockman. Why would you
Yeah.
why would you do this?
Near, what would you translate it as?
Um.
Ruri lustrous, just like Land of the Lustrous.
No,
mm,
isn't there literally a better one of like something mineralogy? Like for
Yeah.
the manga? Like the manga name
So
is like significantly
the
better.
subtitle is like Introduction to Mineralogy. So I
That's a
probably
much
just
better. That's a much better subtitle. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, Ruri rocks is what we're dealing with here. So this is a manga original series, um, done by Studio Bind. You may know them as the studio behind Shoku Tensei,
Yes, sir.
and Onimai.
Yeah, and the roots were actually, so this is going to be relevant in the upcoming discussion, but they essentially were a joint venture created by Egg Firm and White Fox. White Fox being known as that one studio who does a lot of freaking isekai series, and Egg Firm was infamously um it's the studio that kind of not studio, sorry, the production slash planning company that kind of put together, that has some of the co-owners of the company are uh, Kazumiki, the infamous Kadokawa editor who worked on stuff like Index and so on. Kawahara Reki, the author for Sword Art Online, and Shinbo Akiyuki. I don't think I need to explain who he is, but because they have so many of these big names over at Egg Firm, um, they have a lot. They probably have a lot of connections, and they know how to get the money. And this is going to become very relevant in the future discussion. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I
Studio
mean when
Bind, they've
before
done some crazy shit. They do some pretty good audio visuals. So
uh-huh.
I would say
you know what
probably
you're in
heavy
for
on
with
the
this.
Onimai for this one, right? Like
Mm.
because that's what I was saying to Spire before we started. Like just watching the first episode, I didn't realize it was Studio Bind. I was like, this fucking Onimai? I was like, is this the Onimai team? Like the same fucking people,
Yeah, I
basically.
mean, It's a mix of both, I'd say. So I'll get into it in the audio visuals. But so basically, the basic premise for this is, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a fairly standard sort of girls in a club initial kind of idea. But instead of a club, they're kind of just like autistic about rocks. So the main character, Tanigawa Ruri, really likes crystals and gems and such. And
They're
she sees this,
minerals.
yeah, she sees this really pretty necklace in a shop, and she wants to buy it. And so she asks her mom for an advance on her allowance, and her mom's like, "No, I'm not gonna fucking do that."
For rocks, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so she's like, "Shit, what the fuck?" And then her mom goes, "You can get those rocks for free, idiot. They're just in the woods." She's
yeah,
like,
just dig, bro.
and
Like,
she's
what
like,
the
"I
fuck?
don't fucking, I don't believe that for a second." And then she goes out and she looks in the woods, and she's like, "What the fuck? It's all just rocks. What the hell?" And then she has a chance
The way you're
encounter.
explaining this premise is like it's actually what it is, but it's really funny hearing you say it.
Yeah. So in the woods, she has a chance encounter with somebody incredibly autistic, who's also into rocks. And
It
she's
just
like,
appears.
That's kind of
"Yeah,
It's like,
feel like a prerequisite, really, when you think about
yeah,
it.
yeah." And
oh my
she's like,
god.
"If you're looking for crystals, they're over there." Uh, and so Rudy's like, can you show me?" Um, and then they go on an adventure and they find some rocks with crystals in them. And then so begins their
You mean
hyper
geodes
autistic,
near?
yeah, their hyper autistic journey to discover all sorts of rocks, minerals, and crystals. And it's full of trivia about rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
very
mean that's
surprised. I was very, very surprised that you picked this because it's like I know you do also like you're fine with like relaxing series, but you usually don't like go out of your way to pick this. Can you talk a little bit about why you chose this series in particular?
Maybe the man likes rocks. He did watch Houseki no Kuni, my guy.
yeah. So
Yeah,
first of
that's
all,
true.
it has Houseki in the
It's
name,
in the
so
name, yeah,
that's
that's the
like
big thing.
50% right there. Um, I mean, second of all, it's studio bind, right? So I was kind of like, huh.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
wonder.
Yeah, you did
I
talk
wonder
about
what
this, I think.
about this series has them kind of, willing to adapt it. Um, and then I saw a couple clips, I think when the episode first aired, and I was like, huh, this looks really kind of gorgeous.
Huh,
What the
wait a
fuck?
minute. Ruri does rock. Hold on
Yeah,
now.
wait a
Are you
minute.
saying this
Ruri,
looks?
Ruri
Are you, s-
rocks.
are you saying it looks pretty Houseki near? It looks pretty illustrious.
Yeah, it kind of does. Um, yeah, I was kind of just interested, and then I watched the first episode, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to cover this. I think this is
Okay,
pretty
okay,
good,
okay.
actually. But yeah, this series is really fun. It's very very simple, right? As
Mhm.
a decent amount of these sort of girls in a club series are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but I think beyond its sort of simplicity and even like, because the general structure is pretty standard, right? There's the trivia. They banter back and forth. They go from place to place, and they kind of just look at different aspects of what the current, uh, you know, subject of the series is about, and they flash trivia on the screen, and they do banter, right? But I think with this one, it's there's a combination of things. I think make this one stand out a bit. Is it looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, we need to talk about that for like a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
like, God.
yeah, and just I think the character interactions, at least in the first episode so far, just between Ruri and Nagi are like really really good. They bounce
Yeah,
off each
yeah,
other
yeah,
very
yeah,
very
yeah.
well. Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth getting into the audiovisuals like pretty quickly because I think that's kind of like a lot of the meat on the bone for this series.
Yeah.
Um, Again, this is Studio Bind. I haven't looked too into the staff. Who's directing this actually? Uh, there's a lot of stuff actually.
Isn't it?
Director Shingo Fuji, who's done so he did Onimai.
Okay. This explains a lot.
And then storyboarding on Mushoku Tensei, obviously.
Hmm.
Has he directed anything else though? That's like
So he's mainly
major.
been like he's been with the studio since pretty much like the beginning, right? But
Yeah.
it's not. He hasn't really gone outside and done a lot of other
Yeah,
stuff.
so he's mostly been a key animator up until his, I guess, like main directorial debut. Obviously, he seems like he had some episode directing stuff earlier on, but he's mostly
Mhm.
an animator. He's worked on stuff like Space Dandy, Monogatari, Yu Yu Shiki, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But his main directorial debut was Onimai, and I think here that shows quite a bit, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, the audio visuals here are really quite something. The first thing that really I think jumps out when you open up the episode or open up the series is the character acting, and just the way a lot of the characters just move, a lot of their subtle movements.
Yes.
There's a
And they're
lot.
fluid.
Yes, they're very fluid. They're very um, like they've got a lot of movement going on. And to me,
Mhm.
it was very obviously it's very reminiscent of something like Onimai. But I think the first thing that kind of jumped into my head is um, Lucky Star, actually, with the way
Oh yeah,
a lot of
especially
the
because of the models and the character designs and
with the
the
way the
hair
character
and stuff like
designs
that. Yeah.
are and the way they move
Yes,
around.
sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
and yeah, it's very fluid. It's very nice. It obviously adds a lot to the comedic timings. It adds a lot to just the general sort of uh, vibe this has going on. And then further in,
Mhm.
as you go along, another thing that really jumps out to you is the backgrounds. The backgrounds in this are really fucking nice.
Mhm.
And obviously, this series being about rocks, there's a lot of rocks, and they're in the woods quite a bit. And the lighting is also
So
very
wait, are they
nice. They
only in
have
the
this.
woods so far? They haven't gone to a quarry?
Yeah, so far they're mostly in the woods. They do a little bit of I don't know what it's called, but where they do they kind of like have the like strainer, the filter thing
They're
in
panning
the
for
river.
gold?
Yeah, but they're panning for
Yeah.
garnets or whatever. Um,
Panhandling. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, they're pretty much in the woods so far. And there's this sort of it's not constant, but it does show up fairly often for it to be noticeable. There's this kind of really nice grain to everything that they kind of apply that
Mhm.
makes it sort of I don't really know what the word would be, but it just kind of adds to the I guess sort of
I get it here. Grain, because rocks are grainy. Ha ha ha.
yeah. But it kind of just adds to the atmosphere of them, being in the woods. There's a lot of really nice, subtle, sort of digital effects that they overlay onto the screen, without it being, you know, um, obtrusive. And it just looks really nice. But yeah, the main, uh, I guess, draws here are mostly the character acting. There's constant, really little um, motions that the characters have that really add to their personality. Like Ruri's a very energetic, sort of bratty girl, and she moves around in a way that's very distinct compared to Nagi, who's a lot more reserved. She's a bit more laid back, um, and it really like just shows like you don't even have to like listen to them speak really. Just to like all you really need to see is them standing next to each other for a couple seconds to be like these characters are totally distinct and separate from each other. It's just really good character acting. Um, but yeah, the audiovisual is very good. The music as well is pretty good. It's got this nice sort of upbeat um, swell to it. It's not
Mhm.
too obtrusive. It's not like crazy or anything, but it does its job very well. The OPED, the OP is, what is this again? Hikari no Sumika, by Rei Yasuda. It's okay. The OP is okay. It's pretty standard. The ED, however, I think is quite good. I like the ED a lot. I'm gonna say it where I'm gonna say this now when there's 2 examples that I've seen so far in the season. But I think this season is the season where EDs are better than OPs. I'm gonna say that now.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, okay. I kind
gonna
of
say
agree,
that now.
actually, in a sense.
I like this ED a lot. It's really cute. It's got this sort of EDs do this a lot where they've got this sort of scrapbook, sort of notebook look to them. But the animation itself in this ED is really, really nice. It's super fluid. It's got this sort of sketchy look to it. And, it's not like super intricate or anything or super fancy, but it's really quaint. And then, at the very end, it's got this really a really ugly Ruri Rocks font that pops up. But I like it. It's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, the audio visuals are very, very good in my opinion. And then another thing I think is worth shouting out here is the voice cast. I think again, we have like 2 characters to go off here, or in episode 1, really. But I think the voice actress that voices Ruri, which is Miyari Nemoto, does an incredibly good job. She just does the sort of bratty, grumbling energy that Ruri has. She just does it very, very well. And Nagi, who's voiced by Asami Seto, does a very, very good job of sort of being, I guess, sort of like the straight man, right? And then,
Yeah, she kind of lends a stability in that voice because it's like, because she is a veteran. Asami Seto, obviously, if you guys don't know. She is quite prolific, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it's quite good, I think. And again, this series, it's very, very simple. It's pretty basic stuff.
Would you
They're
call
looking
it
at rocks.
honest, near? In my opinion.
I guess I honestly don't really know what you mean when you say that, but yeah, I mean you get what you
Honest as in it takes its premise like seriously. And it's not slapstick. It's like, okay, like I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to be serious about this thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is a sort of slice of life comedy, right? It's not like serious in the sense that like they're really like they're
Are you
treating
saying they aren't serious about these rocks, near? How serious are they about the rocks, or are they just the focal point, just to build a relationship?
I mean, they're serious about rocks in the sense that like they're
let me
both,
rephrase.
like,
Would
really
this series be any different? If it was about a different premise other than rocks.
I mean, I feel like it could be like about I don't know, bugs or something. Because like I feel like the premise is sort of lending itself to them going out into the wilderness fairly often, right? They're sort of going out where nobody else is, and they're kind of having these little adventures, right? Looking for, you know, rocks, right? So it could be about something else, but I don't think it really. I don't know.
I'll just say it's they're trying to be authentic about how their series is, and it's like there's not there's nothing too like super out of place and about it.
Yeah,
There's no jumping the shark, like is what I'm trying to say when I say a series is honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure how this series could jump the shark. I mean, it's about rocks. They go
What
out.
if she's an alien trying to terraform the Earth near? That's what I mean.
That would be bizarre. That would be strange. I don't think she's an alien. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they just go out. They look for rocks. They do rock trivia about how, um, you know, because like in the second half of the episode, they go out looking for garnets, and then Nagi, they come across a sign that's like, yeah, you can't take the rocks here. It's not allowed. And Rudy's like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. And then Nagi has the idea to go downstream. And then they explain that, like, over the course of however many years, a rock will move, downstream all the way to the, and then eventually it becomes, downstream. It goes all the way into, an underground volcano or whatever, and then it becomes rock again. And yeah, it's like, there's a lot of really dumb, like autistic fucking trivia. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
at the end of the day,
it's
it is them
almost
just looking for rocks, right? So
yeah, it's like it goes into almost like Upote territory. If anybody remembers that series, where it's like about the gun. The girls were the guns, but they still had a lot of trivia about the guns too.
yeah, like
So it's kind of like that.
there's a lot of little trivia segments where they do this sort of chibi, they become chibis and they do sort of scientific graphs of like a volcano, and they explain how, you know, uh, a lake can sort of feed into a volcano depending on how far downstream it goes, and that leads into the creation of more rocks. And a volcano erupting sends those rocks across. And
Mhm.
yeah, like it gets pretty into the trivia. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like full on like science presentation trivia, but it's pretty autistic. So if you're into rocks, um it's probably up your alley. Personally, I'm not really into rocks that much. I'm not that into rocks, okay? But
Yeah.
the series
You
is still
didn't.
really fun.
You guys didn't go to a quarry when you were younger just to dig up rocks? Sucks to be you, near.
No, I did not.
No.
That was
Not
not one
even
of my.
digging. Not even digging for fossils. In like an old creek bed. You never got
No,
get some
no,
ammonites. What?
I don't
no.
know if that's that common.
Yeah, I don't think many places in North America are like so full of fucking fossils that you could just go out and do that as a field trip everywhere. But yeah, we
Maybe
did
there are
not.
no fossils in Canada. I guess.
There definitely are. Canada, I believe, is one of the most fossil dense places on Earth. But um, yeah, we didn't do that in school.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, again, this series is pretty simple, but it's really fun. It's got a lot. I think it's got a lot of draw to it. Um, for the people that like the simple slice of life stuff, I think it's got that. For people that are really into rocks, it's probably up your alley. Uh, you know, and I will say I've seen a little bit of um, I don't know what to label it, modern Twitter discourse about this series, and how the series has I don't know if I'd really call it fan service necessarily, but
Okay.
Nagi's character design is very voluptuous. Let's say she's got a lot. She's got a lot of extra padding. Let's say.
Are you saying? Are
serious
you
right
saying
now?
she's? Are you saying it's because she?
She's
You
got
think she's
she's got
carrying
fat tits.
rocks?
She's got
Yeah.
fat
Okay.
tits.
Yeah.
And she wears a shirt that's a little bit too tight, to the point where her buttons are very obviously straining. And there has been some discourse where, as usual, Twitter pipes up and they say, "Is this really necessary?" Um,
Yeah.
Again, why can't
And I
Why can't the Don characters be
yeah, this is
35 years
well,
old in this coming of
True.
age
yeah,
story?
I
Okay,
think this
what's
is
going
the real
on?
discussion
What's
you're
going
hoping for, right?
on?
Not
Um,
really, but I just want to say, if that's something that is like a deal breaker for you, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, maybe find another series,
Hobby?
find another medium. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
I don't know.
Also, it's very. I'm not gonna go into my rant that I did, during chat with you guys, but it's like the thing I would say is
Are we really trying
there
to
is
body
no.
shame here on Twitter of all places near? Is that what you're saying?
uh, the there's no such thing as quote unquote necessary in a fictional story. Either you have somebody who makes a story that is good and appealing to people, or you have somebody who writes pretty poorly and is not, appealing to a lot of people. People who are like, excuse me, is this really necessary? Is essentially the exact same energy as the people who are like, you should watch Naruto, but without all these episodes because they're the fillers. And once you get rid of all these fillers, it's S plus tier. Well, no, it's like then it's not S plus tier because the author wrote in slash the studio wrote in all these extra episodes that are not as good. This is the whole sum of the series. So the people who are like trying to cut in and out of like what's necessary, like we can talk about whether you know uh having this rape scene or whatever, having the titties or blah blah is like good or appealing or like whatever, right? But being like, excuse me, I don't think this is necessary is a very like stupid way to look at fictional medium. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a textbook, bro. It's a story.
Yeah.
People could have titties if they want. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there just because I thought it was kind of funny to see. Yeah, this series does have, I guess, a tiny crumb of fan service here and there, if you
Mm.
want to call it that. Um, I don't know. I think it's just the way. I think it's just the way the characters are drawn. But um, I fuck with it. I'm not gonna lie. But some people
I mean,
don't.
and it's also
So
not like, I mean, it's not like it's pretty evident that it's kind of like it's not even close to being like the core of the story or like any undercurrents or even like it's not really the point. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really the point of any part of the
yeah, I
series
mean,
at
it's
all. So
just
it's
like
like
it's literally like 1% the show,
it's like
basically.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So, but I saw some discussion about it, so I figured I'd
yeah, yeah,
bring
yeah,
it
yeah.
up. It's obviously on some people's minds, so you know. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I like this show. I think it's fun. I'll definitely
Mhm.
be keeping up with it. I think if it keeps up with just like the basic, slow sort of comedic tone, um, it's definitely. I think it's definitely gonna be one of the highlights of the season. I think
Okay.
it's picking up traction from what I've seen so far. It's definitely not the most popular or anything. But I've definitely been seeing people talk about it as the days go by. Um, so hopefully it'll get decently popular because I think it deserves to be. Um, but yeah, it's pretty good. I'd recommend it to really anybody that likes these sort of girls doing things kind of series.
Mm, mhm.
I mean, I'm checking it out, and I don't even really usually watch those. So
Yeah, yeah. Again, you surprised me by picking this series like proactively. So I'm
yeah,
glad at least Studio Bind kind of was the key to sneaking you in there. But whichever way gets you in to watching good series, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now it's sitting at a 7.6 on Mile. I'd probably, I mean, just based off first impressions, I'd give it an 8. Um, I think it deserves that. So yeah, pretty strong start, pretty good first impression. I don't really see how it could drop the ball, really.
Hmm.
Um, because again, it's like such a simple premise, right? Um,
Hmm.
so yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very
So
much,
near.
Near.
What's the power? What's Ruri's power level? Who can she beat in a fight? in a rock fight.
Probably.
In a rock fight, like throwing rocks at each other. What's it?
I think she could probably be Dr. Stone.
Can she? Can she beat? Can she beat Lisa near?
No.
She can't. So you can't. You're saying she can't beat the Red Stone of Asia?
No, probably not.
Okay.
She probably pocket it, but I don't
Hell
think she
yeah.
beat it.
How well would she fare against Germa?
Well, I feel like she could probably dodge a battle axe. So
But remember when Germa did his geology stream? He was eating rocks. So
yeah.
Did
yeah,
she see
she hasn't eaten any.
did she see a crystal and have like a fucking meltdown yelling about
Yeah,
how
about
it was
how aliens would freak out if they
and
saw
aliens
Geode.
would yeah, their heads would explode? I don't know.
No, she hasn't had that, but she does have a pocket full of garnets. So it's that.
Anyways, thank you, Nier, very much for helping to cover this early. Rinoko Houseki. I know again, like I watched a bit of it too, but I think obviously, I keep forgetting that it is by Studio Bind, but it just there's something that drew me to it, and I guess it must be my subconscious, like, oh, this is probably looks something like Studio Bind, kind of drawing me in. But again, I'm glad it turned out to be a pretty um proper good series because I know again, although you're okay with watching these sorts of series, I know you sometimes like if you see some of these like pretty mediocre tropes, you tend to get turned off pretty quickly. But I'm glad it kept up. So
Yeah.
thank you for reviewing it. And again, this is Ruri no Houseki. I believe this is the manga original, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, done by Studio Bind, the infamous joint venture between Egg Firm and White Fox that birthed such anime adaptations such as Mushoku Tensei. I believe they're on their third season now, as well as Onimai, and now this their third really like kind of major kind of work being panned out, I believe. But yeah, if you want, please do check it out. If you want to, if you're okay with cute girls in a club doing cute stuff, with some pretty good trivia, pretty good characters, obviously very good animation. Just like some of the animation again, it's like I saw like the foot stomping at the beginning of episode one. I was like, what is going
Yeah.
on? Like, why is this level of animation in this series? But then I get Studio Bind. So, if you do you like animation stuff, smooth animations in general, please do check this out again. Ruri no Houseki, also known as Ruri Rocks. So yeah.
She do be rocking though.
Okay. And with that, I'm gonna go last here. And this is another series that I think was on many people's radar. Um, when it got kind of announced, and this is also known as City, the animation. So if this sounds familiar to you, this is a manga original, and the manga original was drawn and written by Haruo Keiichi. If Haruo Keiichi sounds familiar to you, that is because he is the author slash artist of the infamous series Nichijou. So what happened was he actually started out, I believe, with Nichijou, and then after a few years, after some number of years, he actually stopped writing Nichijou because he kind of got burned out. Drawing and continuing on doing the same work. But however, during his sort of burnout period, he actually started up City, the manga original, because he's a mangaka at heart, right? He has this hunger, he had this desire to keep drawing manga instead of just doing simple illustrations and stuff like that. And this is the actual sort of manga that he used to draw for 3 years when he wasn't drawing for Nichijou, and he just kind of wanted to take a break. This was his sort of recovery slash, I want to say, therapy manga. And after 3 years of this, he wanted to get back into starting up Nichijou again. So a very interesting history for this series in particular. But yeah, because this is so like intertwined with the history of Nichijou, and obviously Keiichi is mostly known for Nichijou, right? Um, I will warn everybody that this first impressions will be very heavily linked to comparisons to Nichijou for obvious reasons, right? So please do forgive me, but it is what it is. So yeah. The production studio, to nobody's surprise, it is by Kyoani, Kyoto Animations, who was the main production studio for the original um Nichijou. I believe they have very minimal subcontractors this time around. I think they have like one Korean subcontractor that they drew a little bit from to help out with like animation direction and stuff like that. But yeah, the director is actually Ishidate Taichi. So Ishidate Taichi is one of the OG freaking members of Kyoani. He dates back all the way to their freaking Full Metal Panic days, all the way in 2003. That's how that's how far back he is. For those of you who don't know, their Kyoani's first thing is not Air, it's not Clannad, it's not Lucky Star or whatever. It is Full Metal Panic. I believe that is their first proper work. So Ishidate was actually also the director for Kyokai no Kadata, I believe Beyond the Boundary or whatever was the localized title was, as well as Violet Evergarden. And he was involved in doing some storyboard and episode director work for Nichijou and stuff like that. So Ishidate has actually been entrusted with this work now, which is sort of surprising, I guess, in a sense, because Nichijou was directed by none other than the legendary director from Kyoani, Ishihara Tatsuya. Ishihara Tatsuya, who does not know pretty much any major series at Kyoani, like Harui and Clannad and stuff like that, he was the director of, right? Ishihara Tatsuya, as well as his storyboarder kind of partner in crime, Hanada Jukka. Neither of them is actually present in the staff of City of the Animation. And I believe part of this is also because Ishihara Tatsuya was kind of focusing on keeping up development and work on both Hibiki Euphonium as well as Maid Dragon, both before and after the wake of the Kyoani arson incident. And obviously, especially after the incident, they don't exactly have, you know, they're not in the best position to split work around, right? So I believe he's kind of a little bit more focused on Ishihara is probably a little bit more focused on continuing to spin out Hibiki Euphonium movies and sequels as well as Maid Dragon stuff. So they probably did that on to him and then kind of shunted off the work for City of the Animation onto Ishidate. I believe that's how it worked. So Ishidate is currently for this, he's drawing forth sort of ragtag team of decent and newer people that are mostly decently experienced people to prolific veterans. This group mainly draws from the modern Kyoani core team that we know that has mostly worked on Euphonium, Maid Dragon, and Violet Evergarden, right? Some of the few prolific veterans that are in this team have also worked on each show, such as, you have Kitanohara Noriyuki and Nikita Kazumi as episode directors and storyboarders. You have the original sound director for each show, Tsuruoka Yuta, as well as the original photography person, Ueda Hiroki. However, most of the newcomers, and I say newcomers, but they are all pretty decently experienced as well, are mainly on the animation directing and background art side. So pretty interesting staff changes overall, although obviously understandable. As for the voice acting cast, there are a lot of older veterans and favorites kind of sprinkled in throughout. You have for the main cast, you have Toyosaki Aki, Komatsu Mikaku, and Ishikawa Yui as like the three kind of main girls running around. Obviously, all A-listers here. You have other names kind of sprinkled in. You have Tadakoro Asa, you have Fukuyama Jun, you have Ken, you have Suzuki Ryota, Koyasu Takeito, and as the narrator, you even have Otsuka Hochu, obviously very famous, prolific voice actor in Japan. A lot of other voice actors look up to him, but pretty like solid veteran lineup for the voice acting cast. Going over the audio visuals here, the opening is Hello by Furui Riho. Furui Riho is a J-pop artist from Hokkaido. She has quite good vocals because of her kind of church gospel roots, and you'll find that this gets very much emphasized in her kind of the opening that she sings. Very good vocals. The composition is pretty relaxed and kind of swingy overall. Quite nice. I do like it. The opening itself visually, though, is a very minimal storyboard with um and while the song itself is good and worth listening to, and the opening, when there are like animations that need to be done, excuse me, I had to sneeze, but when there are animations that need to be done, the opening does have quality animations, but otherwise it's very minimal. Like there are a lot of just static scenes, period, in the opening for City the Animation. Not even panning shots, just like static scenes. And it's a huge contrast to Nichijou's kind of very crazy openings. For those of you who remember, Nichijou's openings became viral actually back in the day, just because of how crazy and like how frenetic the opening was, the composition by Jidai and everything. And it's
I
a
think the
huge contrast from
main,
that.
I think the
Yeah.
main distinction, but besides being obviously Nichijou's opening is very frenetic, I think Cities doesn't really, it doesn't really mesh with, it doesn't really like go with this song. You know what I mean? It isn't really paced with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
song. The
yeah.
song is kind of just like there's the bit at the end where they're clapping to it, in time with the song,
Yeah.
obviously.
It's a
But
very
like,
standard, the song is a very standard, like slice of life ish like opening, like J-pop opening, and then City
yeah,
the Animation is kind of just doing just these again like static cuts.
yeah,
It's like they're just kind
it's
of
not
there.
really paced with the song. Whereas Nichijou's
Yeah, yeah,
openings
yeah,
were
yeah.
like they were so good because like they went with the song. You know, they were
Yes,
timed
yes,
very
yes.
well with
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
way the song flowed. Um,
Mhm.
which I think is something that Cities lacks. Um,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
it is very nice looking, I will say.
Yeah. When the animations have to be animated, they are good, but it's like everywhere else it's like it's like if they're just like stuck or something like that. It's like I
Yeah,
think probably I would say budget things because again, Kyoani doesn't exactly have the manpower. I don't think it has probably currently the investments right now to just kind of pull for everything. Other than I think they're pretty much all inning on stuff like Violet Ever. They're three major cash cows right now, right? Other than their like copyright stuff, right? Like other than their licensing, the three major projects kind of legs going on right now, right? Are Violet Evergarden, it's Hibiki Euphonium Maid Dragon, right? So they're probably focusing a lot more on work on related to that than they are with this, but you know, it is what it is. But it's unfortunately a little bit more forgettable due to those sorts of kind of squeaks and kind of flaws and stuff like that, as you mentioned. But it's not it's not like bad by any means, but it's just like okay, it's like okay, kind of
yeah,
business. The ending is Lucky by Tomo, and uh Tomo is a J-pop artist from Tokyo. It's a very standard, again, floral song ED, and this is even kind of simpler in one sense than the opening, where it's a relatively simple kind of claymation based storyboard. Um, it's again very forgettable, I would say, which is a little bit unfortunate because again, when you're drawing contrast with the Nichijou openings and EDs, it's just very hard. You know what I mean? It's already a high bar to clear, but if you're putting up a forgettable opening and ending against opening and endings the caliber of what Nichijou had, it's just it makes for a very unfortunate contrast, is what I would say.
yeah,
The audio BGM stuff, and this is I think I'm gonna go back to one of what you just said a little while back. So the audio and BGM, the OST, is a pretty standard slice of life OST, but I feel like at times the sound direction makes it seem like it's the BGM itself is individually trying to invoke the more non sequitur comedic nature of something like Nichijou. And obviously, City the Animation has some of that comedy, but the issue is Nichijou is a very much like on stop and go kind of abrupt um the way it's like storyboarded, the pacing, it's very like not stunted, but it's like like very sudden, like bursts. But City is very much more of a continuous flow in terms of storyboard. Even though it like there are distinct cuts in like these like mini episodes within the episode, but overall the flow is a lot more continuous amongst the characters because of dialogue, whatever stuff like that. So at times it kind of feels like what the soundtrack is trying to do and what the sound direction is trying to do and what the overall like dialogue character dialogue and the story of the visual storyboarding is trying to do. It's kind of like trying to clash with each other. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? It's like you'll have like
Yeah.
this sort of like general discussion between the characters, and it's not really like a super laughing comedic kind of thing. They're kind of just like setting up the build up for the punchline or something like that, right? And in the middle of this, you'll have this like blaring like Nichijou comedic kind of like BGM going on. It's like, okay, like what's happening here? Kind of business, right? And I feel like I don't know, it just feels a little bit conflicted at times. Um which is unfortunate because the individual parts are okay. It's just the balance that seems a little bit off. The storyboard and the designs, the visual designs, are pretty close to Aroi's manga original designs, with thicker lines and brighter colors than what he used for, say, Nichijou or Helvetica Standard, right? The animations are quite good, and a lot of them, I think, really properly serve to emphasize or enhance the scenes in the manga. I would say, obviously, again, there are a lot of good animation scenes and stuff like that, but there aren't as many animations or scenes where one would look and say, "Hey, this is really cool," but this sort of like animation, this sort of visualization idea would only be possible in an anime adaptation of this series. It's like um a lot of the storyboard and the animations in City the Animation are kind of slight enhancements or colorizations or smoother reenactments of what is in the manga, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because there are like some stuff in Nichijou, for instance, like the infamous like goat scene, right? The goat wrestling scene and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where she Mio like flips the goat and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, like yeah, there's like a scene in the manga like this, but this like reenactment is only valuable and really good because it's in the anime, if that makes sense. But there's not as much of that in, I think, this adaptation. Um, and I think this sort of style is like fine in its own way, but it would also be nice to see maybe a little bit more of like, oh, now this is why I watch anime kind of moments. You know what I mean? Um, this might be due to budget constraints, but the in-betweens make it seem like the animations have much less frames overall than Ichijo had, right? In just terms of like regular movement and stuff like that. And give it a little bit more of like a retro vibe. Again, I think this might be a little bit more due to budget constraints than anything else. But when City the animation does need to properly animate something, like somebody getting shocked or somebody getting, flipped or whatever, or running or something like that, and they need to animate something fast or energetic or smooth, the team does pull it off like very, very well. It's just that there are huge contrasts between like when an an animated scene, a fast, like frenetic scene, an energetic scene needs to be animated, they're like, okay, we're gonna make this S tier. And then outside of that, they're kind of like, kind of thing, right? Again, it's not bad, but it's like, huh? Like the contrast is very noticeable. You know what I mean? Um, it's kind of the opposite of Ruri no Houseki in that way, where Ruri no Houseki with Studio Bind keeps a pretty consistent level of animation, like how the quality is, like throughout all of like the different scenes. You know what I mean? Whereas, but like with City the Animation, you either have like scenes that can blow most other studio scenes out of the water, right? Animation scenes out of the water, or you're like, okay, I guess like this fits, but it's also not really what I expected from like
is
Kyoani doing a Nichijou sequel, right?
it
It's
is
like
kind of like, and again, I don't want to put I'm not putting this series down at all, but it is a little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
it is kind of reminiscent of those skits where it's like, when an anime spends all their budget on one scene,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where it's
exactly,
like you have
exactly.
the characters kind of being like, yeah, they're kind of just like mulling about, whatever, and then when like the big scene happens, it's like filled with, crazy frames, and there's
Yeah, yeah,
impact
yeah, yeah,
frames,
yeah,
and there's speed lines, and everything is so super fluid and smooth, and
yeah,
then it
yeah,
goes back,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then it goes back to normal, and everyone's yeah. It
yeah,
it is kind of like that, and it's like I think it works for this because the style for City is very cartoony, so it's like it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
super jarring, um,
But
but it is noticeable for sure.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is one of those
and
things
it's
where you're like,
probably it is due to
oh,
budget stuff. Yeah,
this is the scene where the animators spent more time, huh?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
The in betweens make it look a lot more like one of those like indie anime net shorts kind of business, and it's a little bit unfortunate. But I think overall, again, it's still quite good. I mean, it's still better than a lot of other studios do,
yeah, for
but
sure.
it's the Kiwami has a high bar. You know what I mean? It's not like they're
Yeah,
not one of the more famous studios in the industry in the world for nothing, right? So, and it is getting compared. It's not getting compared to freaking TQ, right? It's getting compared to Nichijou. It's getting compared to Hari. It's getting compared to Klana. So it's so
Well, hold on a bit there. Who said what?
what?
Who's comparing this Clannad? Hell no. Hell no. I'll fight that to the death.
No, no, no. I'm not saying it is like Clannad. I'm saying the comparisons, the valuations, the metrics it has to hit are those of
I'll
something
fight
like
that to
Harvey
the
or
death.
Clannad or
I'll
whatever.
fight that to
And
the
it's
death.
you don't even know what you're fighting, Toast.
yeah,
I heard
yeah.
it's being compared to Clannad? Hell no. I'll fight that to the death. Comes
That's
fight
not
words
what I'm
near.
saying.
All right,
But
man.
yeah, anyways, so I guess
Bro is fighting clouds. Like,
yeah, I know. But yeah, just going over the last bit, I guess, the story real quick and the overall design. I mean, it's pretty much the similar setup as Nichijou. Like the whole like background of the characters don't really matter as much. The idea is that you have a general continuous cast, again similar to Nichijou, and they go do a bunch of non sequitur, sophomoric, um, slapstick-ish humor that we all loved from Nichijou. That almost kind of barges into the surreal and does become almost surreal at times, right? Um, that Aoi Cage is known and loved for. And it is brought again to vibrant color and solid animation work, pretty relatively solid animation work by Kyoani and the remnants of the Nishio team. And so, again, although it's not explicitly demarcated by cuts and like still scenes within the episode, for instance, like Nichio had like a mini episode, right? And then it would literally cut into like a small like outro or like like a small like static panning shot or whatever, right? And then go into the next mini episode. The episode for City the animation is still split into mini episodes and like mini skits that abruptly transition from one to the next, while still featuring that continuous cast. This being said, although it does have these abrupt transitions, City the animation is still way more continuous and flowing and dialogue focused than Nichijou is, which sort of forces it to focus its humor a little bit more on the sort of deadpan, non sequitur, like surrealist side than relying on constant slapstick humor to get value, right? Where it's like Ichio is like a lot of it was focused on like gear flying around, like wrestling, like people getting suplex, pencils flying out the window, cars falling down, people running like crazy, food spilling, blah blah. And there's still a decent amount of that in City of the Animation, but a lot more of it is kind of jammed it into the dialogue, like people saying wonky things, stuff like that, right? So I think that's a core differential between the two. And because that dialogue is forcing Aro Ikeichi to write in a more, again, like dialogue focused, non sequitur, kind of deadpan, almost deadpanish like humor at times. Um, City the animation is very kind of clearly setting a more sort of relaxed, positive, I guess, in a sense, kind of quote unquote cute pacing, as opposed to what Nichijou does, where Nichijou again has a very frenetic manner of just here's humor, here's slapstick, which again I like, but it's a very big contrast between the two, and you can almost, I guess, in a sense, you can see why Aroi Keiichi, like the manga original, is Aroi Keiichi's sort of therapy, right? It was his therapy manga, whereas Nichijou is his like work manga, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nichijou is like, here's humor, like eat it kind of thing. Where City of the Enemy is like, oh, like we could have humor every once in a while, kind of business. So again, I think overall it's still pretty decent material, but the core Kyoani team, again with kind of these remnants of the Nichijou team, kind of in the wings, did create a pretty okay slash decent adaptation of this city manga by Aro Ikeichi. More than a decade later, more after Nichijou, right? Um, you know, pretty vibrant colors, pretty solid animation work were relevant by Kyoani. Um, there are some like squeaky, itchy parts of the series in terms of like the anime adaptation, I would say. But overall, the core Kyoani team on an okay decent day is still way better than most studios on their best days. So this combined with sort of how I would say the sort of shelf stable original material from Aroi, it's a very kind of uh, safe kind of romp, like fun rompy kind of vibes from his works. Um, and I think the combination of Arao Ikeichi's works as well as the core Kyoani team kind of properly doing what they need to do, kind of hunkering down and doing their stuff despite, I guess, potential budget issues, uh, did create an overall adaptation that I wouldn't necessarily say it's not going to be like, oh, it's the funniest thing I've seen or the best thing I've seen all decade or whatever, right? But it is pretty clean, right? Overall, it's relatively hard to find significant fault with, and I would say people who like Nichijou and people who just want kind of a little bit of wonky and surrealistic humor in their anime will probably appreciate this as a nice pick me up with no real huge problems. Um, that being said, it is hard to grade this as say like a 9 or like a 10 or something like that, or have it be as an anime of the year contender, despite it being Kyoani and made by Aroi Keiichi. Just because it does kind of have some of these like itchy spots in terms of like audio visuals, and it ultimately does live in the shadow of its predecessor's glory, right? It does live in the shadow of Nichijou. It does live in the shadow of Kyoani's other grand works, right? So compared to them, the bar is set very, very high. And as I said, as I always say, when decide to give something a 9 or 10, this is like works that lead and shape like the history of like the manga slash anime kind of like curriculum industry in a sense, right? Something like Houseki no Kuni, right? And it's not or Oshinoko or whatever, right? And I don't think City the animation or City the manga is that thing. Nichijou was certainly that thing. Nichijou, I think, um, would have been one of the few series I would have come to giving close up 10, even in this current kind of like time scale or grading scale. Probably like a 9.8, closing into a 10, right? Um, but City the animation, it's hard to see on that same level. So I think at the end of the day, I would have to give this series probably a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, which is still a very good score, right? Um, but again, I can't really see it as an anime of the year contender, which is unfortunate. But if you do again like this sort of pacing, if you do like if you did like Nichijou, consider this as like sort of an afternoon tea. One of those like British kind of cake plus tea plus whatever, right? Finger food sessions that we have. It's like that, but with like Nichijou humor. So just a little nice kind of a bite-size series to kind of have when you kind of want this sort of humor. So if you do kind of enjoy that thing, I guess please do check it out. All right. And that was my first impressions for City the Animation. And we're gonna head right into the news real quick.
Hold
A
on,
lot
how
of different
strong is the
news.
city?
I don't think the city is not like an Autobot. It's not like it's not like an entire city that's moving on. It's just a random city, more or less. But
How would it win a fight against the walled city?
I don't, I don't think it would win
Which
in a fight against the wall city.
which walled
No.
city, bro?
The one you covered last season near
Did I cover a walled city last year?
Kowloon walled city?
Um,
Callout,
you
I
mean
don't think.
Kowloon Generic Romance?
No, as a
It's not really
city.
it's not really a walled city.
Yeah. But yeah,
But sure.
anyways, I do want to move on. But this is just gonna be going through the news real quick. Most of this again is company related news here. There are gonna be some pretty wonky stuff. So first off on the list, Naver in response to mounting criticism over hate-filled content, Naver Webtoon announced on May 29th that it will introduce its revamped content and community guidelines aimed at preventing discriminatory or offensive material. The updated rules will take effect on June 30th. So, the move follows backlash over amateur webtoon Otherworldly Pong Pong Man, which was accused of containing misogynistic content and sparked a widespread boycott last year. So there's also kind of whatever this is. Yeah, there's controversy last year led to a boycott campaign and even offline protests, including condolence wreaths and protest trucks outside of Naver's headquarters. In response, the company formed an external advisory committee in December and revised its policies after conducting surveys with 150 creators and 1,000 users, essentially.
Bro, I've
The
been
redo of Healer gets
boycotting
an anime.
webcomics. I've been fucking boycotting that.
Yeah. Essentially, like, okay, so I mean, the description says it here, but I can explain. But it's essentially Pong Pong is um, like nickname for like dishwashing, kind of thing. But it's like it's I don't, yeah, but it's like part of it is just like he, it's like a dude who gets in with a what is it? A dude who's like generally kind of like meek and mild and kind slash honest, but he unfortunately gets into a relationship with a woman who likes to cheat essentially on him. But it's been pretty popular in terms of usage on internet as part of slang, as for essentially a stupid guy who gets duped by a malicious woman, and obviously it becoming the major theme of a webtoon um, cause backlash, right? So we'll see how
Uh-huh.
this kind of develops, especially since there are probably a little bit more higher female demographics for web webtoon stuff, right? Than there is for say something like isekai, light novels or web novels. So I think the higher female contingency, especially or female demographic, will force companies to not allow as much stuff like this, but we'll see. All right,
I just
next,
think
pretty much
webcomics
on
in
the
general are misogynistic, so all those women
yeah,
should rally against them in general.
yeah,
Force them to change that way, to stop making them.
yeah. Also on the Webtoon news, Naver Webtoon Entertainment Incorporated announced on Tuesday that it is expanding its partnership with Dark Horse Comics to bring a slate of popular IPs, including Cyberpunk 2077, Critical Role, The Witcher, The Legend of Korra, and Plants vs. Zombies to its English language platform in vertical scroll format. So yeah, it's essentially Dark Horse Comics being sort of the Western conduit for Naver Webtoons, right? So we'll see how again that goes.
Thank God. I've been waiting for the release of Plants vs. Zombies for so long.
I'm telling you, man.
And then so according to Korean Business, and final, I guess, more Webtoon news here. According to Korean business media website Mail Economy, Pocket Comics, the global Webtoon platform operated by NHN, is considering shutting down its French service, signaling a broader pullback of Korean digital comics from the European market. Uh, so I think, yeah, the problem is, it's just that globalization is still happening at a rapid pace, but it's not that the market kind of sucks. It's just that there's too much supply. There are too many people kind of competing and duking each other in the face right now because everybody's like, it's a gold rush, right? It's like everybody's like, what? We can create these digital manga services and because manga and anime is becoming widespread, everybody will want to read it, and there's so much money out there. So like there are 50 different services out right now trying to all compete, and it's just not going to work. There are only so many, services that's going to work. So I think that's again only the start of a larger kind of implosion going on, and we kind of saw some of the use of that where I think it was the labor department or whatever, some Korean like labor industry like survey or whatever, right? Reported that there are a lot of losses in like other kind of webtoon companies going bankrupt, right? So I think this is the start of kind of shrinking, I guess, in the future. NBC, one of the major broadcasting corporations in Korea, is also investing in webtoon studios, blah, blah, blah. What else is there? Oh, this one. Freaking. So Gyeonggi province in Korea. So Gyeonggi province is one of the, it's still kind of like countryside to ish in a sense, but it is the province that is closest to Korea. It is one of the northern provinces in South Korea, and kind of very much adjacent to slash surrounding Seoul. But Gyeonggi province in Korea will host the Korea AI Content Awards on September 26th to 27th as its
Please tell
full
me the
convention
award
center.
show itself is AI. Please fucking tell
Yeah,
me. They should have
or
an AI
holographic
announcer.
projections.
AI presenter.
They have AI Kanye presenting as a holographic. It's like, but
You can have AI Kanye
they
and Grok. Untethered Grok.
but yeah, they will be presenting at the Suwon Convention Center, expanding last year's AI International Film Festival. There was an AI International Film Festival to include
There
webtoons and
was.
music. Um,
I think we
themed.
covered it in the news a while back.
Oh, we did. Yeah. Okay. Blah blah. Creators are invited to submit original long form projects that incorporate generative AI in the planning or production process. Blah 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 blah. Winners will win approximately $54,000 US. But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think AI, like if you want to have some slight like A's and stuff like that, but like I think the more you do this specific sort of thing, the more you're kind of just justifying just being like, okay, but what if we just use AI kind of thing, which is
Yeah, I mean
again
it's just trying to
very different.
pump a already like bursting bubble, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate.
I think it's
Let's see.
great. I think it's good. I think there's only good things come from that, personally. But
Only up from
You
here.
know,
Yeah, do we
what's
have
going to
the
be
Junji Ito here on the docket for the fucking
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
news?
man.
Do you have that on
Oh
here?
no, we should have. But
Oh man.
God, you know what's going to happen here, by the way, in less than a few years? We're going to try to have a AI version of a live, it's like they're going to try to use AI to reenact live like humans to get a quote unquote fake human adaptation, fake version, AI version of a live show adaptation of Death Note. Like this is actually
Oh
what's
my
gonna happen.
God.
This is actually what's gonna
Dude, it's
happen. They're not even
gonna.
gonna
I
make an
mean,
anime.
Bro,
They're
it's
that's
just
just
gonna
gonna
gonna look like it's
be
just gonna
that's
look
gonna
like
be
the Cowboy
the
Bebop live
Akira movie,
action.
bro.
It's a
Gonna be
whole.
the Akira movie.
and then
Well, those
and then
rights
they're
are
gonna be
gone
like,
now, so who's gonna get them? Who's gonna get them?
Yeah.
yeah. And then they're like, because of the AI animation and everything, it's all gonna look super wonky. And then when the bad reviews come out, they're like, but Battle Angel Alita had wonky eyes, bro. It's like, no, you guys are completely
Bro, people are
like
gonna.
those are
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. People were celebrating. That makes a lot of sense, though. Like people were celebrating fucking what's his name, Taika Waititi or whatever, losing the rights for the live action Akira movie, and I was like, that's a fucking monkey's paw if I've ever seen one. I don't know how. I don't know
yeah,
what it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be, but this is absolutely a monkey's paw for sure.
Oh my god. But yeah. Uh Next on, yeah, Sanrio, the studio behind Hello Kitty, right? Becomes the fourth biggest shareholder of Production IG, which is Wit Studio's parent brand. Blah blah. Let's see this. ABC Animation establishes a music production company and produces songs for one of the series that's going on this season, Ranobe anime program, right? A weekly light novel anime program. So I think they're kind of trying to use it to kind of branch out there. Aqua Plus, this is relatively big for those in the know. The Pull to Win Holdings (PTW), the parent company of game developer Aqua Plus. So for those of you who don't know, Aqua Plus is one of the like OG, like core companies in the visual novel industry's like history, right? If obviously everybody knows Key, a lot of people know Ubisoft, a lot of people know Frontlink, but I would say, um, again, something like Sprite, something like Aqua Plus, especially Aqua Plus, is just like they are the pillars of visual novel history. And these companies, again, they make games such as obviously like Utawareru Mono, To Heart, stuff like that. But their parent company now announced on Tuesday that it is withdrawing from the media and content business and thus has decided to transfer all shares of its consolidated subsidiary Aquaplus to an outside company. So, um, we'll see how it will go. Obviously, in terms of like usually when these like company transfers and sell offs and stuff like that happen, usually wacky reorgs and bad stuff tends to come along with it. But we'll hope that Aquaplus can kind of keep their heads up, right, and kind of muster on through the process. And what is it? Yeah. And just one last piece of news here. K manga service. I believe this is Kodansha. Yeah, Kodansha's K manga service announced on Tuesday that is now available in a lot of places in around the world, different places from anywhere from Austria to the UK. So again, more digitalization expansion. Do I know who the winner is going to be? No. My guess probably is going to be. My guess, if I had to bet on it, is it's gonna withdraw. It's gonna be. Um, I think there are gonna be like three forces that are gonna essentially do like a cold war with each other. One is gonna be Kodansha or Kataka or one of these services that kind of major. They might kind of stay as the two like Japanese services, dueling swords kind of services, but there will be like one pretty big dominant winner, I think, Kataka or Kodansha, maybe Tsuihousha. So one of them, probably Kataka. There will be one in the West. Probably working alongside like like Novel Club, J Light Novel Club, or like Game Press or whoever, right? Or Seven Seas. And then there will be probably Naver webtoons for Korea. I think those three forces will be the ones that will stand at the top after X years, but we'll see. But yeah, I think those were all the pieces of news for today. And let's round off with our shout outs and call outs real quick. Shout outs and call outs. Everybody here gets one shout out, one call out. Shout out is something that you want to praise to the heavens, 5 out of 5 stars, and it can be only one person, place, or thing. And of course, call out is the exact opposite. Something that you want to rant about, 0 out of 5. And it can be any one person, place, or thing. And we start off with Nier. Shout out and call, please.
Man, there's a lot of shit that's happened recently, huh? So I've been kind of debating doing this call out for a while now. I was like, do I really want to call this out, or is it really not that big of a deal? But I figure I'll just do it. So recently, there was a VTuber debut. From a certain someone you might know. What's her fucking actual name now? Sameko Saba. That's what it is. So she debuted recently. And as you know, she's she's been a VTuber before. One that doesn't really stream very much. Right? So I find it kind of odd when you have a VTuber that has kind of a history of not streaming very much, doing effectively fucking annual streams, who debuts with, actually, sorry, I'm getting the timeline wrong, who releases a line of merch before they debut, which I'm already not a fan of debuting with merch. I think it's kind of gross. I think it's a little bit scummy. Not really a fan of the practice. But I think releasing merch before you even debut is kind of really gross. Personally, I think that's a little bit gross.
Yeah, in one sense, they know that like their audience is kind of just gonna lap it up, so it's like okay, but then yeah, it's still kind of. I think especially in the Western sphere, I'm not gonna blame only the Western sphere. There's a lot of this kind of not exactly like this, but similar trends that are popping up in the Eastern sphere too. But it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm about to debut," and they kind of use that as this like weird, like they use that word as some sort of like catch-all, like weird speed stick to use as an excuse for maybe not streaming as much, maybe doing stupid shit, right? Like whatever, not doing any sort of like standard stuff. And now it's kind of like they're just kind of throw out this merch on top of also probably not streaming as much, and it's like, like what are we doing here? Kind of business,
Yeah.
right?
So, on top of that, I don't really know how to word this properly, but so during their debut stream, you know how VTubers are, they sort of have nicknames for their fan base, right?
Yes, sir.
And that this is kind of a weird thing to I guess rag on, just because it's like I don't know. It's just a very it's like bad vibes. So the nickname, I forget if she actually picked it or not. but one of the nicknames was Kani Crew. And if you don't know, Kani
Okay.
is Japanese
Eh.
for crab, right? And
Yes.
she's got this sort of, fish vibe going to her, right? However, her VTuber model is a lolly. And if you don't know, Kani is a term that lolicons use to refer to. Well, I don't really need to tell you. I think if you know, you know, basically.
Mhm.
And to me, it's a little bit suspect
Bit much.
to. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a red
It's too
flag.
much to
I'm
push
gonna
on
say.
as like a public kind of thing to throw it out, right?
Yeah,
Especially, yeah.
and on top of that, I don't really know how much I would be comfortable with as a creator, as a YouTuber who has millions of eyes on her, to be accumulating a fan base uh, that associates themselves with verbiage like that.
Mhm.
Because call me crazy, lolicons are some of the grossest fucking people on the internet, especially people that are willing to label themselves
Yeah, ones that are gonna
publicly.
stand on that, it's like,
Yeah. Um, personally, I don't really give a shit if people like lollies. I'm not one of those people who's like, if you're a lolicon, you're a pedophile. But when you're like publicly like declaring yourself as, a lolicon, and you're one of these
Mhm.
people that's like, because I've been seeing a lot recently, and it's catalyzed largely by this, but I'm seeing a lot of people be a bit more, quite a bit more confident in
Open.
declaring their interests, and saying people are being tourists, or people are being filtered for
Oh
effectively
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
being like
yeah.
publicly pedophilic. And
But
I don't
near,
know.
it's not the fan name anymore.
I wonder why. I wonder why. Um, but I wouldn't
Near,
really
what's the
be.
difference between that and let's compare? Remember Nimi Nightmare's fan name? How do you feel about Naplings?
I mean, naplings is just a play on the saplings thing, right? Like,
yeah.
No, it's a play on Naplings because she's a tapir near. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, sure, sure. I mean, like that's very different from fucking Cunny Crew. Let's be
Mhm.
completely honest here. Um,
But near, it's Kaniki now. Get it?
yeah, that's really not much better. I'm not gonna lie.
Kaniki, get it? Crab Bros.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you're doing the whole crab thing, um, uh, she knows what she's doing. Is basically what I'm saying. Um,
It's more so. It's
personally,
more so the like implications, and it's just
yeah.
like you should not be
Especially
doing
when you
this.
have
You should
you
not be
have a
doing
lolly
this.
VTuber model. Um,
What's her
you
new height
do,
now? It's no longer 35. It's
yeah.
150, right?
I don't
Something
know,
like that.
but like she does this thing where she's like, flashing she has like a fucking like tummy toggle on her model. She does this shit where she zooms in on her feet. um she knows what she's doing, and to me it's just like it's really, I don't know, embarrassing, gross to see kind of like a grown adult sort of play into this really nasty, kind of disgusting side of the internet as
Would you
her
say
audience.
would you say it's the same sort of, I don't want to say like design or structure, but it's the same sort of feel slash atmosphere slash trend as the male English VTubers who did all like the girlfriend experience and like the sexual like like ASMR slash like parasocial vibe kind of
Who's
stuff?
worse
Or
near?
is that
I would
Who's
argue
worse
that
near? Sameko Saba or Vox Akuma?
It's
yeah, that's sort of what I was
wow,
the
that's
contrast I was gonna.
That's
yeah,
the
that's what he
question,
was going
isn't
for,
it?
dude.
That's quite the question. I mean, it's
Godzilla versus
It's
King
hard
Kong
to
kind
say.
of
I
vibes.
would say it's hard to make the determination because I would say what she
Yeah,
is doing, what she is doing will probably lead to only realistically harming her in the future because I don't think accruing a fan base like that is going to end well in any way,
yeah.
shape,
Yes,
or
sir.
form.
So I
Yes,
think
I think it'll
sir.
be more self-inflicted damage, whereas like something like what some of the male VTubers do is like, oh, okay, you are trying to like groom teenagers. Like,
Yeah. It's a little bit more direct harm.
yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like because the stuff Vox does is a lot more like blatantly sexual. But the stuff that Saba's doing, I think, is going to be like, I don't know. The problem is like she's doing collabs is my issue, right? And when you have an audience that is now very openly antagonizing people for essentially not being into lolly, right? When it's like you're a VTuber, you play video games, right? Like being like having a sexual fetish for lolly has nothing to do with your content, right? But now your audience has that, they have that vibe, right?
As a tag.
There is
as
a
tag,
there is a large contingent of your audience whose entire identity is that, right? And now you're doing collabs, right? And now you're bringing that contingent of your audience into other people's chat room.
Mm,
And to me,
yes, sir.
it's just bad, right? Like there's,
Mhm.
I think there's really no timeline where this ends well, Saba.
Mhm.
I think she's
Yeah.
either going to have to eventually make a statement, or she's going to have to silently distance herself from this portion of her audience. Something is going to happen because these people
Mhm.
are gross, right? Again,
Mhm.
I don't care what your inclinations are on the internet, but some things remain behind closed doors, right? There's a reason.
Yeah. You,
that-
you
I
don't,
would
you don't
I
want to
would pull
spread it
up,
into the public. That's the biggest thing. You don't
I
want to
would
spread it into the
manage to
public.
pull up a video, but this, if you've ever seen the National Lawyers Guild
Yeah.
video of Know Your Rights, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's pretty good
Yeah.
encapsulation.
there's a reason a lot of people don't put their fucking favorite, uh,
Fetishes.
you know, favorite
Say.
sad panda tags into their dating
Yeah.
profile on fucking Tinder, right? There's
Yeah.
a reason typically that people
It's,
keep things.
there's a reason why people go like, I like walking on the beach and taking nice long walks on beaches, and
Yeah,
that's it for their
yeah.
profiles. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it's also, I mean, it's also, yeah, there's a reason why when you like go out and see human beings, you go like, nice weather, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's not like the end of the world kind of thing, but I was just seeing
Is
it,
it?
and it was
Yeah,
just
it's not gonna end
very, it was
well.
very, it was very, very embarrassing to see from somebody who's got, again, she's got millions of eyes on her. She's a big VTuber, right?
She's a big
Um,
influence. Yeah, for sure.
so to me,
Not
it just
even.
like
Yeah,
seeing
not
that
even
kind of
question.
behavior and accruing that kind of audience was kind of just like, you're an adult. You know what I mean? Like you are a grown ass woman doing this shit.
Well, more than being an
And it's
adult,
also,
it's like
one
you
of those things
have
where
a
it's just like, can
significant.
you, yeah, can
Yeah.
you not fuck this up for the rest of us, please? Like,
Yeah.
can you not do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna do it.
Yeah, it was just just very embarrassing behavior, and you know,
Mhm.
I was just kind of like, this is gross. Um,
Yeah.
but as for shoutouts, I think I'll shout out Persona 5X. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. I really wasn't expecting much from the Chinese Persona mobile game, but it's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun, and it's got a lot of really
Mhm.
cool designs. A lot of really cool original designs too. They're not just kind of like leaning on the whole. Oh, we got Persona 3 characters in our game too. Um, they're doing a little bit of that, obviously, and I'm sure once the
Mhm.
Persona 4 remake is close to releasing, they'll start releasing Persona 4 characters as well. But a lot of the original designs for the game are actually like really really cool. So
Mm.
yeah,
Mhm.
and the game's fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Nier, for your shout out call out. What about you, Toast? Shout out call, please.
I'm gonna shout out Musume.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I have a lot more interest in it now than I would have back in the day when I couldn't read it in Japanese.
Mhm.
Good. I'm glad it has good eyes in the West. Yeah.
All right. Well, what about your call out?
Fuck that bird, dude. Yeah, you
All
know
right.
what? Oh,
Yeah.
let me elaborate. So, it's hot in the summer, right? And then the birds are flying around, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put out two bowls of water for the birds because it's hot out, and so so they have something to do in the day, so they don't get hot. Yeah,
Okay.
Spire, you live in the same general area as me. How do you feel about robins?
About what?
How do you feel about the bird, the American robin?
Oh, the Robin? I haven't really, other than like actually going into more like foresty areas, I haven't really seen too many robins around here, to be honest. But I usually live in pretty like suburbia areas, so
Yeah, I've been noticing that this giant ass robin comes around to the water, I guess the water bowl that I put out every morning, and he takes a bath in there. That's cool, all right?
uh-huh.
That's cool. It takes a bath and then it leaves, and then later on in the day it comes back again because apparently robins like to take multiple baths and clean their feathers in the day. So it keeps coming around to the water bowls several times a day, and bathing in it and then flying off. That's normally something cool to watch, right?
Mhm.
The problem is that when other birds come around, there's some small birds. I see some small sparrows and finches. I put out two bowls of water, so multiple birds can have their chance to drink and bathe. The problem is when this asshole robin comes around, and because he's a really big bird. I don't know. I don't know why he's so big. He comes around, and then there's other birds like drinking water on the other side. This guy he likes to take a bath in one bowl, walk around, clean his feathers. Then he goes to the other bowl to bathe as well when the other birds are there, and it scares him away. So this this bird likes to take a bath in, in two
So you're
bowls of
saying
water
he's being
instead of one.
selfish,
Yeah,
essentially.
that's why it's called the asshole robin because he's scaring away the other birds that just
Let me
want to take
tell
a.
you, bro. You're lucky you don't have blue jays over there, because those smaller birds would be dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
I don't
much.
think I have blue jays. I've seen cardinals, I've seen finches, I've seen sparrows, and I think I've seen even a mourning dove. So that's cool. But yeah, this robin's the biggest of the bunch, and he keeps stealing all the water. And he makes a big fuss too. So when I change the water multiple times a day, he's always there. Like I change the water, within 5 to 10 minutes, he's right there back in the water. I'm like, he's waiting for me, isn't he? That jerk ass bird. Share some for the rest of
Yeah,
the birds in this area. That's my call out.
yeah. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. What about you, Dark?
Uh, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna shout out gaming right now in general. Been a lot of games. Been a lot of cool games. 55X, WoW's updates have been really fun. It's been really cool. Um, Elden Night Reign continues to be very fun. Very excited to see what other new bosses they add in like a update next month or something. You know, big ups. Musume has been cool.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Gaming's
Um,
woke, actually.
That's true. So is movies.
True.
So you gotta pick one, really. Um, yeah.
You
I'm
guys
trying
gonna
to
watch
think
the
of.
new Jurassic Park?
No,
Why
Yeah.
not?
no.
I
heard
literally
it's
have
not
only
very
seen one
good.
of the Jurassic Worlds, and the first Jurassic World was also not great. So, um, but yeah, trying to think what my call out was gonna be. I think I'll probably call out like I don't know. I guess anti cheats that don't work on Proton. Make your fucking anti cheats work on Proton, bitch. Make that shit work on Linux so I can boot up fucking mobile games and shit on my Steam Deck. Fuck, I want to play that shit on my phone for, or my computer. I have a Steam Deck for a
Are you
reason.
saying?
Okay.
Are you saying you don't
P5X?
play Musume on your Steam Deck?
No, I do play it on my phone because the fucking thing, the thing works better. To be honest, the portrait
What
mode.
about the Steam? Don't you get extra rewards by logging into Steam on your Musume thing? Like
Yeah,
this for the
maybe. I don't
Steam
know.
launch? I don't get those 500 gems.
I probably could.
Or
It
carrots.
probably does run on Steam Deck. There are a lot of mobile games that do. It's just like some very stupid fucking mobile games that don't. Like Wuthering Waves because they decided to go with some really dog shit anti-cheat. Technically, the Hoyoverse games aren't quote unquote supposed to run on Proton, but they do, and no one's ever been banned for it. And I don't think they ban people for that shit, or ban people really in general, unless they're like account gets flagged as now they have like 10 million roles.
Or they're accessing like
Yeah,
like
content they're
pre-release
not.
shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's always fine. But yeah, there are still some mobile games like Wua that I would really like to see on Steam Deck because that's kind of a premier platform to play a mobile game on. P5, P5X in general, I guess like Persona and P5X especially though has been really good on the Steam Deck. So other games should follow suit. Especially if you're gonna release on Steam. The fuck are you doing? Woo was on Steam, and it doesn't run on a fucking Steam Deck.
All right. Anyways, thank you very much, Dark. Appreciate the call. I guess I'll just finish up real quick. Um, shout out. I guess actually shout out to this actually today I went to this place that was selling uh a good beef uh or beef and slash pork intestines place that I went to and I ate some of that. So I actually
I've had.
have had that for a
How
while.
long
But
do you cook beef intestines on a Korean barbecue? By the way, I cooked it for like 30 minutes, and it still tasted dirty, and I didn't like it.
did you get the actual like Korean pork slash beef intestine ones? Because the if you just have like raw ones, it'll take quite a while for
Yeah,
them to
it
cook.
was raw. They just poured like I think like oil on it, and I was like,
Yeah,
eh,
it takes quite a while to cook. If it's raw, if a lot of places that are like, you know, like KBBQ places have them kind of, how do I say it, like parboiled, like in kind of processed like beforehand a little bit, like cooked
oh no,
part cooked before a little bit,
it was
and
flat and
then
raw. Yeah, I guess I didn't cook long enough because it was still chewy and
yeah,
tasted dirty. Gross.
if it's like legit raw slash like still processed, but like like cleaned up, but it's still raw, it'll take a good long while, especially depending on the cut. And it'll be better if you have like pretty thin pieces of it if possible. But yeah, it usually in like KBBQ places they'll usually have like part cooked or like or parboiled a little bit beforehand, and then they'll like kind of freeze that portion and then later bring it out, so it cooks faster. But yeah, uh, so kind of shout outs to that place. It was pretty good, especially for the price. And then call out is Just the VTuber fan bases. I guess if Nier's calling out the creators, I'm calling out the fan bases. It's just like there's been some hubbub on the Korean VTuber side recently. One of the creators that are behind some of the biggest VTuber agencies in Korea, one of the streamers have been involved in many scandals and or many incidents, and now there's a huge incident related to cyberbullying that he's been
Again,
caught up
by the
with.
way, this is like the second time, right?
Um, it's
That's-
been I don't know
Remember
whether it's
the first time was with the Niji Sanji Korean group. Are you
Oh
saying there's another Korean group?
yeah. I mean, even not counting these two, there probably have been many incidents of such. But it's both that and also not just the creators design, because the Nijisan stuff was mainly based like it was creator to creator, but a lot of this stuff this time around was the fan base of that like large streamer kind of cyberbullying and harassing another like VTuber, and this streamer didn't tell them to stop. And usually, like, what happens is like the streamer's like, "Hey, man, hey guys, don't freaking go attack the other streamers and stuff like that. Don't do that." And this streamer never did that. So, eventually she got driven out, and it was pretty bad all around. But obviously, part of the fault lies with the streamer as well. But it's also just like a lot of these fan base can just get so fucking stupid. Whether it's just like the Vox Kuma fans or like the Hall Life fans or like just like these Korean VTuber fans. It's just like so tiring at times. I'm not sure whether it's because demographic is so young or because the demographic that attracts that gets attracted are just like socially inept fucking nerdly nerds who think they can do whatever on the internet or whatever it is. Maybe it's a combination, but it's very unfortunate that this is happening. But call outs to them. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my shout outs calls. And with that, we are wrapping up our first episode of the summer 2025 reviews, first impressions. Again, most of these reviews, all these reviews are pretty much like first impressions, although we covered pretty much all series that are relatively episodic. Um, except for I think Clevatess, right? Um, but we'll see how these are again first impressions only for now, and we'll try to get into more thick, solid, stable, like actually more thorough reviews as the season goes on. So please check us out then. And as always, if you like what we do, we stream our podcast every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4play Animecast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, and so much more. Check out our full thoughts here, as well as our highlights, clips, and so much more on YouTube. So whichever format you desire. We have updates for our and news on our social media content on Facebook, 4Player Animecast, on Twitter at 4PP Animecast, and on Blue Sky at 4Player Animecast. So check us out here, check us out there, and as always, we'll see you next time.